Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto x Piper McLean Percy Jackson. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Spirit Soldier and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. New Year, New Adventures, New Enemies. Leaf Village. The Leaf Village hospital was crowded today. Several ninjas are here with several injuries, some with minor ones and some with very major ones. All of the nurses are working their heads off, trying to care of all the shinobi in Kinwaichi, one of them being the 5th Hokage Tsunade Senju, along with her 2 apprentices Shizune and Sakura. Tsunade had her eyes closed, mending the bones of one of the injured shinobi. Sakura and Shizune were holding him down while the man was screaming in pain. Eventually though, it was finally put back to place. Tsunade sighed in relief and wiped the sweat off her forehead, while Sakura and Shizune let go of the man, who then fell unconscious. Suddenly, one of the nurses came in, looking really afraid of what she is about to say. Lady Tsunade, the last batch of shinobi that went in the continent are back and injured very badly. She said quietly. She ran when she heard Tsunade and threw one of the chairs on the well. Shizune and Sakura stepped back, knowing that Tsunade was losing her temper once again. Why am I sending shinobi to do a suicide mission again? Tsunade thought. Then she looked to window and saw the younger Chunin punch an adult civilian in the face, probably at the fact that he insulted Naruto. Oh yeah, that's why. Shizune, gather all the ninjas who have internal injuries and have the more experienced nurses heal them at once. Tsunade commanded, getting a nod from Shizune. When Shizune went to do just that, she turned to Sakura. Sakura, gather the newer nurses and heal the ones with broken bones. Sakura nodded, but before she did, she had a question in mind. Lady Tsunade. She started out quietly. Tsunade arched an eyebrow and waited for her to continue. When can I join the search for Naruto? She sighed and pinched the bridge of her nose in frustration. Sakura, along with Hinata, been asking that a lot for the past few months. But Hinata might put her feelings ahead of the mission, while Sakura end up like some of the shinobi they send at Naruto. Despite her dislike for Sakura due to how she treated her surrogate grandson, she is a talented healer, one they need at the Leaf. And again, why am I even trying to keep this village intact anyway? Tsunade thought. Very few of the older generations feel guilty for how they treated Naruto. And what they did to Naruto was inhuman. Kind of ironic since the reason they did it because they saw him as a demon, while they are the ones doing monstrous things to him as a child. A fucking child. As she thought that, the guilt crept up to her again. She could have adopted Naruto after his parents died. But instead, she wallowed in self-pity and decided to drink and gamble her way out of life. Now, she's trying to take him away from his friends and family, making the guilt worse. Sakura was about to call out to Tsunade when the woman finally responded. I don't know Sakura. Right now, we need to focus on healing all our injured Jonin, Chunin, and Anbu. After that, we'll see if I can get you in a mission. Sakura eyes widen in surprise. She mostly expected to be rejected again. But she is pleasantly surprised that Tsunade is considering sending her. Maybe she can try to redeem herself to Naruto after treating him like shit. Sakura gave Tsunade a thankful smile before going to do her job. Tsunade sighed and sat down, pulling out her precious sake from her coat. Right now, she needs a drink and since Shizune is busy, she can have her sake. Before she could take a wonderful sip of the alcohol, one of the ninjas burst in her office looking winded and panicked. She growled in frustration. Just as she was taking a sip. It better be very important or I will put you with the rest of these shinobi. Tsunade growled, tightening her grip on the bottle she is holding. The shinobi paled a little. He wondered if he should really tell her the news, but if she finds out later from someone else, she might come after this. So, praying to Kami that she doesn't kill him, he spoke of the news. Sasuke Uchiha has escaped from his house arrest. The shinobi spoke timidly. There was an eerie silence in the room. You could hear a cricket chirping in the room. The shinobi tried to slowly escape from the coming explosion, but it was too late. What? Outside the Hidden Leaf village. Sasuke Uchiha had been miserable for the last few years in the village. It first started when that dead last actually defeated him when he first tried to escape. Then when he brought back, he was put in house arrest due to attempted escape despite the civilian council protest. Then, his chakra was taken away along with his ninja status. He couldn't even get Ino or Sakura to help him since they broke out of their fangirl stage. And finally, someone took away his vengeance. His chance to kill Itachi by himself to show how strong he gotten. Naruto Uzumaki. When he heard about, he was in a rage. He threw anything that could break, rip the furniture apart, cursed Naruto existence. He was supposed to kill Itachi, not that blonde flame crafter. His goal was taken away while he was arrested by that damn Hokage. And right then, he wanted to kill Naruto Uzumaki. For taking his role as the best in the Leaf Village, for humiliating him during and after the academy, for besting him in everything, for defeating him 11 years ago, for taking his vengeance away. For everything he ever did to him, even breathing in the same room with him. Just you wait, Uzumaki. Sasuke thought in rage. Once I become strong enough, I will end you. Sasuke still has his hairstyle that is shaped like a duck. He is now wearing a black kimono with the bottom tore down a little so that he can move easier. He stole some of the ninja supplies, including some kunai and pellets. And the same standard shinobi sandals. A couple of months ago, 2 of Orochimaru's followers snuck into his home. They gave him back his chakra and helped him regain his skill. When he got strong enough, he escaped from the village, with the 2 sound ninja escorting him to the former Sannin base. Sasuke looked at the 2 ninja who were wearing the sound ninja uniform while they are hopping on the trees. How far is the base? Sasuke asked the 2 ninja in front of him. I want to train as soon as possible so I can defeat Uzumaki. Relax, Sasuke. One of the ninjas said. We'll be there soon. Just another 30 minutes left of running. Sasuke smirked. He will be strong enough to defeat Naruto soon. Kill the man who took his vengeance. So you are a rival of Naruto. A voice said in the forest, stopping the 3 on their track. They all look around the forest, wondering where it was coming from, but they didn't see anyone else. Who are you? One of the ninja yelled, a little scared. Suddenly, something grabbed him from underneath. Sasuke and the other ninja looked down as the man was screaming in pain, his body being crushed by the hand of a one-eyed giant. What the hell? The other ninja yelled, scared out of his wits. Before he could attack though, an animal suddenly jumped on the man and pulled down the ground. Sasuke heard the ninja scream in pain before his throat was ripped apart. Sasuke tense as the 2 monsters look at him and grab a kunai to fight, but stop when he heard the voice. Don't worry, they won't attack you. I only ordered to get rid of the 2 pests. Who are you? Sasuke demanded, trying to see where the voice is coming from. You took the people who would lead me to my new sensei. Would you really want the Snake Sannin as your teacher? The voice asked. That voice sent chills to Sasuke pain, but didn't show it. He would use you to give himself a new body, to get the Sharingan. What if I told you that I can make you more powerful than Orochimaru could? Powerful enough to decimate Naruto and all of his friends. I'm listening. Sasuke said, lowering his guard. A very small part of him is screaming at him not to listen to whoever it was, but the power to decimate Naruto and everyone he cared for is too appealing for him to refuse. I can talk about the power I wield. The voice said. But why don't I show you? Something slowly formed right in front of him and showed him something that shocked him. Every single of Orochimaru's bases currently being massacred by armies of monsters. Orochimaru's main base. Orochimaru gritted his teeth at his experiment room. For the past couple of hours, he'd been trying to find a base for him to retreat at. The base he is at now is being attacked by several creatures. His followers stood no chance against the onslaught, getting no chance to recuperate. Now, he's finding that every single of his bases were getting attacked. They are killing the normal followers, taking away the test subjects, taking his notes and experiments. Years and years of work are being destroyed or taken away in matter of hours. Barely anyone escaped the onslaught. Kabuto. Orochimaru roared, getting his loyal servant to come in the room. Gather any info we have left. We will have to get out of here soon. But Lord Orochimaru, all the other hideouts are being decimated. Kabuto said, walking towards the Snake Sannin. Unknown to said Sannin, Kabuto has a bronze knife behind his back. The few people that survived had fled and the Sound Village had been taken over as well. Orochimaru was gathering one of the few notes he has left. We will have to build a new base. Start our researches from scratch once again. But I'm not going to die here. He is called a snake for a reason. He will slip away from death any way that is possible. Why do you think he created a sacrifice jutsu that helps him get a new body every 3 years? I'm sorry Lord Orochimaru, we can't leave now. Kabuto said, slowly readying his knife. Oh, and why is that Kabuto? Orochimaru asked, turning around to address his lieutenant. Only to be met with a knife through his neck. Cause Lord Kronos is waiting for me. And he doesn't want you to leave this base alive. Kabuto said coldly, a gleam in his glasses. Orochimaru tried to perform the revival jutsu while he is gurgling blood, but for some reason, it's not working. Kabuto smirked. If you're wondering why you can't use your revival jutsu is because of the knife I'm using. Since you can be no longer called human, this kind of knife can permanently kill you. With that, he took the knife out, getting the Snake Sannin to fall on the floor. Orochimaru glared at him with a murderous expression, but the medic ninja didn't even flinch. You think you could gain immortality, but that was a foolish dream. Kronos wanted to teach you a lesson for trying to be immortal. Orochimaru gurgled, trying to curse the traitor, only for blood to spew out of his mouth. This isn't possible. He is Orochimaru. One of the legendary Sannin. He was supposed to be immortal. He can't die. He can't. "Goodbye, Lord Orochimaru," Kabuto said, saying the word mockingly. He then left the snake Sannin to bleed to death, something he deserved. Not for the pain he caused to the elemental country, but for trying to be an immortal. But Sasuke watched in awe as the army of monsters completely destroyed all of Orochimaru's followers. The Sound Village, all of his bases, everything. Barely any of them survived the onslaught. "So you see," the voice said through the forest. "Join me, and you can command an army to your beck and call. You can become more powerful than you can ever imagine. You can have that army destroy anything that crosses your path." Sasuke smirked. An army to his beck and call. Gain powers that would crush Uzumaki. He can have all of this. But there is one question in mind. "Can you help me restore my clan?" Sasuke asked the figure. That was another of his primary goal. Restoring the Uchiha clan. The chuckle the voice let out chilled Sasuke to the bone. "Trust me, you will gain everything you need to restore your clan. You'll have powerful women that will help with that." And that sealed the deal for Sasuke Uchiha. USA, near Camp Half-Blood. Naruto was breathing heavily, his muscles straining as he kept running. He's been running for hours and those damn things won't stop jazzing him. Not only that, but he has a little girl on his back, holding to him tight, increasing the weight. Just one of these regular days for Naruto Uzumaki. They're catching up. The girl cried out in fear, looking back at the mass army behind their back. That got Naruto to run a little bit faster, trying to get some distance. How they ended up in this predicament? Well, Naruto was a babysitter for Lacey. Her father didn't really care for her, so Naruto took the job and took care of Lacey, especially when he found out that she was a demigod. He had a clone stay with her whenever he's with friends or on a mission, when a clone sent a memory of a couple of rebel demigods trying to take Lacey away. You see, not all of the demigods that joined Luke went back with him. A handful of them still think that Kronos is still the better option, the leader of the demigod rebels being Alabaster Torrington, a son of Hecate. Naruto had been trying to track him down for quite some time. If he can capture one of Hecate's children, he can have a chance for her to surrender for her son's life. A dirty trick, he knew, but he is a shinobi. They are known for using dirty tricks. Honor does not come in their vocabulary. When he received that memory, he quickly used the Horatian seal he put on her back. In a flash, he came in front of her and dispatched the two demigods. A daughter of Demeter and a son of Apollo. But not before they called an army of monsters when they saw him. He really hoped that Kali would make their torture long and painful. Once he put enough distance with the army of monsters, he stopped to catch his breath. He gritted his teeth, weighing down his options. He can't go to camp, not without bringing them those monsters. But he also can't fight them without endangering options. His brain quickly calculated an idea, and he hoped that the mother of this girl will actually protect her and not ignore his and or her prayer. "Lacey, listen to me, sweetie," Naruto said to the frightened girl. "See the strawberry garden? Run there and get to camp. You'll be safe there." The little girl looks at Naruto with wide and frightened eyes. And what about you?" the girl asked him. Naruto bit his lip, hoping that Lacey won't be stubborn. "I can't. I need to stay here and hold them." "No." Lacey protested, hugging Naruto as if her life depended on it. "Come with me. Please, Naruto." Naruto bit back a groan, hearing the horde. He needs to get her moving. "Lacey, there is no time to argue," Naruto said firmly, looking at her in the eyes. "Don't worry about me, Lacey, I will be with you soon. But I can't let you or the camp be endangered. You'll die if you try to fight them all." Lacey cried out, tears threatening to stream out. Naruto has been a father to her ever since she was 4, more than her own father. She doesn't want to lose him. "Lacey, please trust me on this," Naruto said to her. "I can handle them. I know what I'm doing. Now go." When she hesitated, he said it again with a firmer voice. "Go." This time, she did run. Naruto sighed in relief, knowing that she is going to be safe now, and then look at the horde coming closer to him. He took out his Kasai and changed it into an Ajinata. He flipped it a little before holding it behind his back, smirking at the army before him. "Okay, so who dies first?" Camp Half-Blood. The camp is in a training session today. Several of the more experienced campers are training a group of them into fighting. The counselors are helping Chiron and Dionysus teach them, all of them wearing a jacket designed by Naruto. It's a white jacket with their parent symbols on the back of their jacket. Something designed by Naruto to show who the camp counselors were. The counselors that were currently at camp are Luke, Annabeth, Claris, Thalia, Lee, Katie, Bianca, Selena, and Castor. There are some counselors for the minor gods as well. Tyron and Annabeth were teaching history to all the younger campers. They are teaching them all kinds of things. From Greek to Dragon Age, along with some shinobi history Naruto lent them. They will need to prepare for shinobi to come and try to attack them. Claris and Thalia were teaching hand-to-hand combat from basic to advanced, along with ninjutsu. The children of Hephaestus, Apollo were the ones who are learning elemental ninjutsu, while the children of Hermes, Ares, Aphrodite, Athena and Dionysus were learning hand-to-hand combat, along with a few ninjutsu that fit their heritage. Luke and the Stoles were doing weapons training and stealth training. Normally, Hermes' children only do stealth, but Naruto had everyone learn stealth. The other demigods may not be as good as a child of Hermes, but with a good teacher and lots of training, they can be half as good as them. After all, Luke and the other Hermes demigods were good, but Naruto is the best. Dionysus was teaching his children mind manipulation. He was also teaching the other demigods how to block genjutsu. Normally, he wouldn't care, but Naruto bribed him with a pack of the finest sake that he can hide inside the seal. Naruto is probably the only demigod, other than all of his children, that he would ever like. Right now, Chiron and Annabeth are teaching the young children about the story of the Inquisitor. They were about to get to the part of the Grey Warden attempt to summon a demon army when they heard a little girl screaming. "Help! Help!" Everyone tensed up at the terrified voice. Thalia, Luke, Charles, and a couple more demigods ran to where voice was. They saw a little girl running up to them, looking frantic and scared. The girl started speaking fast, saying that someone needed help. The demigods and Chiron tried to calm the girl down, one of the reason being that they couldn't understand what she is saying, and after a few minutes, she started calming down, but she still looked scared. "What wrong, child?" Chiron asked the girl gently. He hoped he didn't have to calm another panic attack. "It's Naruto. He needs help." The girl cried out, causing everyone to freeze at the name. "He's fighting off those scary monsters. A big army. He needs help." Chiron acted immediately. "Campers, prepare your weapons. Prepare yourself to fight." The campers didn't need to be told twice, and they all went to get their weapons. From spears, to swords, to bows, to axes. Each one of them grabbed a weapon and quickly put their armor. When everyone was appearing and the children were safe in their cabins, including Lacey who went in Hermes' cabin. The demigods went charging at the entrance of camp and prepared to fight an army, only for all of them to stop, all of them stunned at the sight they are seeing. Naruto slides around the Minotaur just as he crushed the ground where Naruto was at before he stabbed the beast with Naginata. The Minotaur roared in pain, feeling the weapon deep inside, but before it could get it out, Naruto threw the Minotaur at a Cyclops, who was about to hit Naruto with its club. The both of them turned to golden dust at the crushing impact. Naruto set his weapon on fire before slamming on the ground, causing a stream of fire to hit 30 monsters and ending them. He smashes his blade into the ground and then crosses his arms, gathering up the energy he need to perform this attack. When he got sufficient enough energy, he slammed his fist into the air. It took a mere second before the cracks form and many more of the monsters turned to golden dust. Everyone is watching in awe as Naruto took them down either one at a time or using a move to take out a group. It was like watching a very fierce and powerful demon fight a small army without trouble. He jumped up in the horde of monsters and spins his weapon around, causing several more to be killed. He then uses his crouched position to stab the Cyclops before the monsters could attack. It roared in pain before dissolving in dust. One of the Cyclops made a grab at Naruto, but the blonde grabbed the thumb before twisting it and flipping the Cyclops. Before it could get up, Naruto stabbed him right in the eye, earning a bellow of pain and the thing turning into dust. As more monsters came at him, the more Naruto cut them down. He either stabs them or slices them in half with the blade. Or using the pole part, which is made of imperial gold, to give them a head trauma. Finally, Naruto jumped up before forming Greek fire at the end of it and slammed his Naginata to the ground, causing the fire to spread around all of the monsters. A lot of them screamed in pain before dissolving into golden dust. Naruto breathes heavily, more than winded from that fight. And no, just 3 rebels to go. Naruto dodges a sword slash that was for his head and the demigod slashed again, but this time, Naruto grabbed the wrist and twisted it, causing the young man to scream in pain and land in a heap. He moved when he felt the earth stir and a demigoddess burst out of the ground from where he was at. Another boy was charging at him with a spear, but Naruto grabs the spear and had it hit the boy in the head before he took it away and stabbed him in the kneecap, earning a cry of pain. He saw the girl coming down, ready to stab, but Naruto was prepared and grabbed her when she close enough and threw her on the ground. She was winded, but she was about to get up until Naruto pressed his foot against her stomach. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," Naruto warned her. The demigoddess sighed before laying down and accepting defeat. "Good choice." As he said that, the demigod he defeated at Lacey's home appeared to him in a flash, the both of them tied up and unconscious. He tied up the other demigods, and when he turned around to go to camp, he was met with nearly every demigod over 14 looking ready to fight. Hi. Naruto said awkwardly, uncomfortable with the stares he's getting. The last time he got this kind of attention is when he fought Ares and he still felt uncomfortable. He's probably one of the few demigods that didn't like attention. Elsewhere, a blonde boy training in Camp Jupiter sneezed and Percy Jackson, who is doing the homework that Naruto sent him at home, sneezed. Hi. Hi. Is that all you can say? Dahlia yelled, glaring at Naruto. Both she and Annabeth are pissed that Naruto fought another army of monsters alone, again. What the hell were you doing fighting an army all on your own? Again. Naruto raised his hand in surrender. I didn't have time to think or wait. The little girl, Lacey, needed to be brought to safety and I couldn't risk the safety of the camp. Plus, they were chasing me, not Lacey. Speaking of which, is the girl okay? Did she get to camp? She is with the other children, don't worry. Annabeth replied, frowning out at him. But don't change the subject, Naruto. You could have waited for us or come to us to be ready to fight. There was no time to wait, I had to hold them off the army. Lacey was in danger and I couldn't risk endangering the camp. Naruto said firmly. If I did run to the camp, you guys would become totally unprepared for the fight. Besides, I needed to see my results of the training. When Naruto gained his new power, he started training 2 hours each night. He had other things in his schedule, so he only had 6 hours of sleep instead of 8 or 9. He's been training demigods, keeping an eye on other demigods, working on several projects, doing several missions, and training. He added the 2 hours to train his new powers. Before they could argue though, Chiron interrupted them. Alright, I think that is enough excitement for now. Naruto, you need to talk to Lacey, right? Naruto nods, giving a thankful smile to the centaur. Okay then. All of you back to training. The last part was for the campers. The demigods went back to their training regime, except for the camp counselors. Hallie. The girl looked at Naruto when he called her name. Get all information from these demigods. I leave it to you how you will do it. The girl had a dark grin and nodded, dragging the 5 tied-up demigods to the barracks with some help from the other demigods. Naruto went to the entrance of camp along with the other counselors and Chiron. When he got to camp, he was tackled by a small blonde pin missile. Naruto staggered back in surprise, only to see that it was Lacey, who is currently crying in relief. Naruto rubbed the girl's head, whispering to her that he's alright and that he's not hurt. After a minute, Naruto managed to soothe her. An ability he has that helped most children when they're afraid or sad. Come on Lacey, let's go travel around the camp. Naruto told the girl. I'll tell everything you need to know about the camp and have you settled in. Lacey nodded and then gave him the puppy dog look. Naruto sighed, already knowing what she wanted, and bent down so she can ride on his back. As Naruto was traveling to the camp, telling Lacey everything she needs to know, the younger campers noticed the jacket on him. The fact that he's camp counselor didn't seem to surprise them, it was the Athena marking that got their attention. Annabeth. A 10-year-old son of Athena said, causing Annabeth to stop her reading. Why does Naruto have an Athena marking? The newer demigods wondered the same thing. Annabeth looks at Naruto and smiles at the sight of the fellow blonde carrying the girl Lacey. That's because Naruto isn't only a son of Hephaestus, but he's also a champion of Athena, like Odysseus. So he's really smart, as well as strong and cute. A daughter of Aphrodite asked, blushing as she looked at Naruto. Annabeth frowned a little, before getting rid of it quickly. Yes, he is very intelligent. Annabeth said to her. He has done many quests for Athena, as well as other gods, both minor and Olympians. He's also our trainer and protector. Annabeth could see that Naruto had gained a few new admirers, even more so when an idiotic son of Ares attempted to throw a rock at Naruto, who grabbed it without looking and crushed it with his hand. That just gained him a couple more admirers. And you're a demigod yourself, Lacey. Naruto finished. Lacey is listening to this with wide eyes. Naruto told her about the gods being real, monsters reviving from their graves, and the gods still having children. I'm a demigod. And my mom is a goddess? Lacey asked. Naruto nodded to her question. Do you know who my mom is? Naruto smiled. I have a guess though. Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Mostly because you are a little cutie. Lacey blushed a little at the compliment from her father figure, but then she had a crestfallen look. Why doesn't she visit me? Lacey whispered sadness in her voice. Did she forget about me? Did I do something bad that made her hate me? Naruto bit back a growl. Those are the same thoughts that caused the Olympians to have rebels. They should stop hiding under those stupid rules and at least visit their children. Then the death rate wouldn't be so high, despite it lowering a lot when Naruto came to this world, and the demigods wouldn't have thought about joining Kronos. You didn't do anything that would cause any hatred, Lacey, I can assure you of that. You're just too sweet to think of anything bad. Naruto said, making the girl blush again. As for why she didn't visit you, I don't really have the answers for that. Just hope that she didn't forget about you and would offer an explanation as to why she didn't visit. Naruto wondered why Aphrodite never visited such a sweet girl like Lacey, while she visited Drew and gave her the charm speak for her to abuse. Well, at least Selena had her own charm speak to counteract Drew's. For now though, you are to go to Hestia's cabin until you are claimed. Naruto said to her. Another change in the camp. With the help of his shadow clones, he built cabins for the minor gods and goddesses, including Hestia. Now, any demigods that have yet to be claimed can live there instead of being in the overcrowded Hermes cabin. Lacey smiled and nodded. I can lead you to the cabin once all the training session are finished. For now, go join the other kids over there. He carried her to the other children, where Chiron and Annabeth are still teaching them. They stopped reading when they noticed Naruto and Lacey coming over him. So little Lacey is going to join us. Naruto nodded while the little blonde girl ducked her head behind Naruto, a little nervous at meeting new people. Yep. Naruto replied, putting the girl on the ground. She quickly hid behind Naruto, making the blonde chuckle. I might need to stay here though, until she gets used to the place. Chiron nodded in understanding and with that, Naruto sat with the other kids, with Lacey in his lap. Naiko grins at Naruto, who smiled back at him. The two of them had gotten closer these 3 months, with Naruto preparing to take him as his apprentice. He can sense the power in the boy. Not as powerful as Percy, Thalia or Bianca, but still pretty strong for his age. As Annabeth started reading, Naruto relaxed a little. It's been a really hectic day. Saving Lacey from 2 demigods, running from an army of monsters, fighting said army of monsters, and capturing 5 demigods. He can only hope that his life will be normal, but on the inside, he knew that it won't be normal. He is Naruto Uzumaki. A demigod that is unpredictable and has an unpredictable future, even to the fates. And he likes it that way. Chapter 2. Hunting down rebels. Naruto was walking around, observing all the campers training. After a couple of minutes of being with the kids, he decided to make a clone that will stay with them and went to observe the other campers. And so far, he's impressed. Claris and Thalia are doing amazing progress with their hand-to-hand combat training. Most of the demigods are advancing to Chunin level, and a few were already low Jonin, mostly the Ares and Athena, when it comes to Taijutsu training. Apollo children are high Chunin on ninjutsu, while his siblings were mid-Jonin, showing how strong they're becoming. That made Naruto proud of how far they've gone. Luke and the Stoll students are making progress with the students as well. Obviously, the Hermes children are the best, but he saw some of them getting close to their level, mostly the children of Hecate. Most of them are at the level where they can sneak through a highly guarded bank with only some difficulty. Naruto also saw the demigods being taught by Dionysus making some progress. Say what you will about Dionysus, but when he actually put some effort into it, he can be a good teacher when it comes to the mind. The demigods can block all the basic ninjutsu and some of the more advanced kinds. A few of them, mostly Mr. D's kids, were nearly as good as Kurenai when it comes to Jinjutsu. As he observed all of the demigods, occasionally making a few clones to help them out as he walked to the forest. He did this because someone else was at the forest training by herself. It was a command Naruto made so she could master her godly abilities. He did so with Thalia, as well as her brother Jason, since the children of the Big Three had the potential to become as powerful as a minor god or goddess, perhaps even an Olympian. And he wanted to make sure no one got caught in the crossfire of their training. Currently, he sees his apprentice, Bianca D'Angelo, sitting in the forest, Indian style, with shadows circling around her. Naruto smiled. The girl has been making amazing progress with her abilities. A few days after the winter solstice, he tested whether the girl is more attuned with the shadows or the dead. When he found out she's more attuned with the shadows, he had trained her in using them. Forming weapons with them, capturing anything with them, using them like beams, etc. And right now, she's making a shadow hurricane from the looks of it. Glad to see you're getting stronger, Bianca. Naruto said, getting Bianca's attention. Bianca smiled when she saw her sensei and let the shadows dissolve. Naruto-sensei. Bianca said, using the title Naruto told her to use when they trained. She ran up to him and hugged him, which he returned. Where were you at when I was oh? She said the last part loudly, holding her forehead where Naruto flicked her head. Naruto looked at her sternly, making her spine straighten. You broke your concentration with the shadows when I came here. What did I tell you about that? Bianca sighed. You said to never break your concentration when battling or training. She mumbled, although she said it loud enough for Naruto to hear. Naruto nodded at that. Good. He then got back his smile. Today, I'm going to see how far you've gotten. You're going to be facing a clone of mine that will be powering up to high Chunin. If you defeat it, I will take you on the next mission I go on. Bianca's eyes widened. Really? Like any eager genin, she wanted to prove her worth by doing a real mission. And if she could defeat the clone, she will be allowed to accompany Naruto on a mission. Being with him is a major bonus, especially if they go alone. Yep. Naruto said. He then made a clone and gave him enough to be mid-Chunin. If you can defeat him, you can join my next mission. Let's see how much you have learned. Bianca and the clone looked at each other, face to face, ready to attack. When the two started to fight, Naruto was getting a feeling from his informant. So he walked deeper into the forest to meet her. When he reached the location he snapped his fingers and the seals activated. "It is safe, Hikate. What do you have for me?" Naruto asked Hikate, who had just appeared. "There is a camp of about 50 to 100 rebels that is led by my son in a factory in New Orleans," Hikate said to Naruto. "I would suggest bringing a few demigods with you and not handle them alone. From the looks of it, they've become well trained and prepared." Naruto nodded to that. He usually does missions himself, but he brings the demigods on his missions. "Sometimes I must go now, so I don't raise suspicion to myself as a spy." Naruto nodded. "Stay safe, Hikate." "You too, Naruto." With that Hikate vanished. During his disappearance, when Claris, Annabeth, Percy and Thalia went on the quest to the Sea of Monsters, he had a few of the minor gods and goddesses spy on the Titans. They would have joined them if not for Naruto assisting them on missions and rescuing their children. Naruto felt his clone dispel, and he smiled. He walked back to see Bianca with some bruises and a smile of victory on her face. Naruto looked at the memory of the fight between her and the clones, and he had to say, he was impressed. Bianca's usage of the shadows and her bow and arrows was smart. As well as using the shadows to catch him in a trap without him noticing. He wondered if everyone that could control shadows were extremely cunning. The Nara clan and Bianca were becoming proof of that. "Good job, Bianca," Naruto said, helping Bianca up. He gave her a piece of ambrosia, which she gratefully ate. "You've really come a long way these few months. And tomorrow, you can join me on my mission to bring down the camp of demigod rebels." By now Bianca had a huge smile on her face. "Yes." Bianca cheered, hugging Naruto tightly. Naruto chuckled and hugged the girl back, proud of her and how much she has accomplished. "Now let's go," Naruto said, ending the hug, much of the disappointment of the daughter of Hades. "Dinner is about to start soon, and Naiko probably misses you." Mess hall. Everyone was chatting happily with their siblings, a few of them rubbing their arms or legs of the intense training session they had. Though it was nothing compared to the sessions Naruto put them through. Those were nightmares. Naruto, himself, was talking to his siblings, with Metallus right next to him. Naruto was telling them the time Tenten attempted to make a better weapon than him when Drew walked over to their table. The table suddenly went quiet, with Metallus glaring at Drew and Naruto arching an eyebrow at her. Drew is known for seducing, or charm-speaking, almost every guy to her bed. Whenever a new guy comes to camp and she gets interested in him, she uses her charms or her charm speak to bed them before leaving them for a new prey. She attempted to seduce Naruto, but luckily, Naruto has immunity to any mind tricks. "What do you want?" Naruto asked, careful not show any malice in his tone. He really hated the girl since she's a tyrant and abuses the gift her mother gave her. He wondered why on earth Aphrodite gave her that ability when this girl has no qualms with using people and is extremely shallow and conceited. Maybe it's because she's like Drew. Shallow, conceited, and has no qualms in using people. "I want to talk to you about the training here," Drew stated, and Naruto already knew that Drew is going to complain about something ridiculous. Naruto gave her a hard stare. "I'm not going to change the schedule to suit what you want, Drew. Knowing you, you probably make it where you don't do any training." Drew frowned. "But all that training is a waste of time," she complained. "What the point of training to fight? It doesn't to help you become prettier. It makes me all sweaty and nasty." Naruto resists the urge to bang his head on the table, along with the others on the Hephaestus table. "No, Drew, and that's final," Naruto said firmly. Seeing her open her mouth, he speaks again. "And if you try to use that charm speak on me, I will make you run. Well, I'll have hellhounds that are in heat chase you." He did that once with one of the demigoddesses that attempted to seduce him out of training. Meaningless to say, that daughter of Apollo never attempted to do that again. Drew shut her lip after that and swiftly left. All of the Hephaestus sighed in relief after that. "I'm glad that the queen of the bitches is gone again," one of Naruto's siblings, Nissa, said. "Why do you even bother to train her? It will be her fault that she gets torn apart by a monster." Naruto sighed and stirred the ramen he got. "Because, even though she is completely vain, she is still our stepsister, unfortunately. And I protect everyone that is in this camp, no matter my relationship is with them." His siblings nodded in understanding. They knew that Naruto wouldn't let anyone that is a part of this camp get killed. Naruto then noticed Lacey looking a little down at the unclaimed table. Naruto fist clenched, knowing what she was thinking. She wanted her mom to claim her during dinner, but so far, she didn't. If Aphrodite forgot her daughter, so help him. A bright light suddenly formed above Lacey and a dove form. Naruto sighed in relief while the campers bowed to her, the tradition they do when somebody is claimed. "All hail Lacey, daughter of Aphrodite," Chiron declared while everyone was bowing. Soon, the light disappeared and Lacey skipped happily to her new sisters. Naruto smiled at the expression on Lacey's face. Lacey didn't get much happiness when she lived with her father, and Naruto wanted to make sure she had a happy life. Naruto got up and walked over to Aphrodite's table toward Selena. While walking there, the daughters were blushing at the sight of him. "Selena, can I talk to you please?" Naruto asked. She nodded and got up. Naruto then went over to Lacey. "Lacey, come with me please," Naruto said to her. The young girl nodded and followed Naruto and Selena. When they reached the campfire they sat down and looked at her. "Lacey, this is Selena, someone who I trust very much," Naruto introduced. "She will watch over you when I leave. If she is on a quest then my brother Charles will, okay?" Lacey nodded. Naruto then turned to Selena. "Do you mind at all, Selena?" "Not at all, Naruto," Selena said. "Charles or I will watch out for her. Drew will not pick on her while you are gone." She then turned to Lacey and gave her a sisterly smile. "Hello Lacey, I'm the counselor of Aphrodite Cabin and your new big sister. Nice to meet you," Selena said. Lacey gave her a nervous smile and hid behind Naruto's leg. "Lacey, you can trust her. She will watch over you if I am busy." "Okay," Naruto told her in a comforting tone. Lacey lost a little bit of her nervousness then. If Naruto likes her, then she must be nice. She then walked over to the girl and gave her a shy smile. "Nice to meet you, Selena. I hope we can be good sisters," Lacey said shyly. Naruto smiled. He's glad that Selena is camp counselor. If Drew was counselor, then she would have treated all of her siblings like slaves. But Selena treats all of her sisters and brothers kindly. He knew that he could count on her to help Lacey feel at home. Naruto's dream. Naruto was heavily breathing as he ran in the village. He needed to get away. Need to find a place to hide before he is caught. Behind him is a mob of civilians, several of them have their hands on something sharp in order to injure Naruto. Badly. Naruto decided to go up the roofs and jumped on one of the boxes and onto several other objects before getting onto one of the roofs. Naruto looked down at the ground while several of the villagers were yelling at him to come down and face his demise. "No thanks," Naruto thought. "I rather keep my limbs, thank you." He was about to sit down and relax when two kunai nearly sliced his face. "Shinobi. Shit." Quickly got up and run on roof to roof, ignoring the shouts of the ninjas to come back here. Every time they yelled at him, they always call him demon. Why is that? Why do they always see him as a demon? He was about to jump down into one of the alleys and hide under there when a fist suddenly came in front of him and knocked him on his back. Naruto was dazed but was still conscious. The attacker was a jonin who was sneering at him. He felt the jonin kick him in the ribs hard, making him groan in pain. "We finally caught you, demon," he heard him say before Naruto was grabbed by the neck. "For making us chase you all over the village, we have a special kind of torture for you." Naruto merely spat at him, causing the man to growl and punch him in the face. "You are going to pay for that." The man jumped down and went into one of the markets with the mobs of civilians there cheering. He heard them shout, "We caught the demon. Make him suffer. And avenge our friends and family." What on earth are they talking about? He never killed their family, never done anything to him. Why do they attack them? Those were questions nobody answered. His eyes widened when he saw them putting a cross, knowing what they are planning to do. So, to distract the jonin, he took out a sharp stick from his pants and stabbed the jonin holding him in the arm, causing him to yell in pain and drop Naruto. Naruto attempted to run, but one of ninjas threw a kunai at his leg, causing him to fall down. Two of the civilians grabbed him in both arms and dragged him to the cross. Naruto didn't struggle. Didn't plead. He knew that it wouldn't stop, only encourage them further. So he didn't let him see his fear, even though he was terrified of what is going to happen. The civilians put him on the cross and held him there with their arms. He felt a knife being driven in his hand, making him grunt. It hurt a lot, but he had suffered worse before. Another knife went in his other hand and one stabbed him through both feet, making him grit his teeth. He's not going to scream. He's not going to give them the satisfaction. That was just the beginning. For half an hour, the shinobi sliced him on the arms, legs, abdomen and chest, with Naruto taking it all, not letting out a single scream. The civilians were cheering like madmen, like they were watching a vicious gladiator fight. Seems like we need to do more to get a scream out of him," one of the shinobi said, seeing that Naruto wasn't going to scream anytime soon. He then said to the crowd, "Anyone got any ideas? How about this?" One of the civilians said. It was a woman with pink hair and green eyes. She looked like she was one of the civilian council members. She's holding a high-powered taser. "We can stick in his stomach and see if we can fry the demon from inside." The shinobi grinned viciously. "Good idea." He grabbed the taser from her hand and charged it up, ready to stick it inside Naruto. "Any last words before you suffer, demon? Any pleads of mercy?" Naruto only had 4 words to say. "Fuck you, you monsters." The shinobi growled. "We aren't the monsters here, you are. And we are doing what's best for this village." With that, the man dug the taser deep in Naruto's stomach, sending several jolts of electricity in Naruto's veins and intestines. Then Naruto finally let out a blood-curdling scream. "Naruto. Naruto, wake up. Naruto." Naruto sat up, breathing heavily and very pale. He saw most of his siblings surrounding him, all with worried expressions. Medalist was the closest to him, and he could see the distress in her eyes. Naruto breathed in and out before looking at them all. Was I screaming again? Charles was the one who nodded. Was it one of your dreams again? Medalist asked in a worried voice. Naruto merely nodded. It was one of the banes of having eidetic memory. Whenever he sleeps, he sometimes gets into the memories of his past life like it was yesterday. He can remember everything that happened on that last dream. The knives embedding in his limbs, the kunai slicing through his flesh, that taser electrifying through his organs and veins. And the laughs he heard while he was suffering. Naruto gave them a kind smile. Don't worry about you guys. What time is it anyway? 2 a.m. His sibling Jake said. We woke up around 1:50 when you screamed. Naruto grimaced. That torture lasted 10 minutes that day until the Anbu arrived to rescue him. Honestly, he suspected that they watched him suffer before getting him out. Sometimes, they arrived right after the civilians finished his torture, but when Nico led the squad they were there to stop it fast. You guys can go back to sleep. I'll be okay. All of them cast him worried looks before reluctantly moving to their bunks. Medalist got back on Naruto's bunker, getting her head on his chest. I heard you groaning, like you were in pain. Medalist whispered from where she's at. Naruto didn't say anything, just let her continue. Does it hurt when you dream? Do you feel the pain like it was happening all over? Naruto looked up towards the top bunk and thought. Should he tell her truth? He didn't want to worry her more than she already was. But no matter what, he can't lie to his siblings, especially not to Medalist. Every time I dream I feel everything that happens. That pain doesn't dull down, no matter how many times I dream the events. I just feel the same all over again. He felt her arms tighten around his waist and felt a few tears on his chest. I hate those villagers. Medalist whispered fiercely. I hate what they've done to you. That they blamed you for something you had no control over. I hope they suffer for abusing you like that. Naruto rubbed her arm soothingly, causing her to calm down a bit. It's been done now. There's no use angering yourself for what happened in the past, Mita. Naruto whispered, using her nickname for her. Besides, what I have now makes up for what happened back then. I have good friends, better siblings, and the best sister I could ever ask for. Medalist smiled tearfully and snuggled into his chest. I love you, big brother. Love you too, little sis. Counselor meeting. So, do you have information about the different camps? Chiron asked Naruto. All of the counselors were there, Naruto told Chiron about what he knew. Naruto nodded. Even about the main base where Alabaster is hiding at. Kali is currently working getting more information from the 5 demigods we captured. If we find out about any more base locations, we can call Artemis and get the hunters to destroy them. Chiron nodded at that while the rest of demigods shivered. They saw Kali's handiwork and they are glad they weren't victims of it. So how are we going to deal with the main base? Chiron asked him. Are you going to get a couple of the demigods here? Naruto shook his head. I only need to get a few. Taking a handful of demigods with me will draw attention. Naruto said. Bianca is one of the people joining me. I just need 2 more. I'll go. Clara said quickly, wanting to join the mission. I want to show you how much I learned and beat the shit out of my idiot siblings that remained with Kronos. Naruto nodded and asked if anyone else want to join. Alia volunteered before anyone else could. I'm itching for a fight, Whiskers, and fighting several demigod rebels in an abandoned factory sounds right up my alley. Naruto nodded. So you have Bianca, Thalia, and Claris coming with you? Chiron said. Are those 3 all you need? Naruto nodded. Yeah, 3 should be enough. Naruto said with a nod. I'm going to see if Kali's got anything more from those demigods. Chiron, when I get the information, send any of the base location Kali finds to Artemis. Claris, Bianca, Thalia, you 3 prepare for the mission. The 3 girls nodded, along with Chiron. Okay then. So we have our plan. Council, dismissed. With that, everybody left to their own things while the 3 girls went to prepare for their mission. Naruto was about to leave until he felt a hand on his shoulder. Before you leave, I have something to tell you, Naruto. Luke said to him. Naruto nodded and waited for him to continue. When you face Alabaster, be careful. He's very skilled in magic. He's probably working with Marion Lamia, a former daughter Hecate and the monster who has given the monsters the power to smell demigods so they can always find them. Naruto frowned. He read about Lamia before. A daughter of Hecate who accepted Zeus's courtship. Hera, out of jealousy and anger, killed her children for accepting the courtship and turned her into a monster. And because of the death of her children, Lamia gave every monster the ability to smell demigods so they can always be found. Taking a deep breath to calm his anger, he nodded in thanks. Thank you, but don't worry. Naruto said, smirking. I can outsmart the son of Hecate and I have people with me to help fight. I also faced harder missions than this. Remember Layden? Luke flinched a little, but nodded anyways. That is a memory he wanted to bury. Okay, good luck Naruto. With that, Luke left the meeting room. Naruto then left to check Kali's progress. The demigod barracks. So, what have you found out? Naruto asked her. Kali grinned and gave him a list she written down. This is the list of 5 of the camps, along with the demigods there. Kali said to him. I also found out that they are recruiting demigod criminals. Murderers that are children of Ares. Terrorists that are child of Athena. Rapists that are children of Aphrodite. And more. Naruto frowned. Kronos is getting desperate if he's hiring criminals. It's good, but also bad. Good because they're getting Kronos pushed into a wall. Bad because the campers might have to face those criminals who would be more experienced in fighting. He shuddered to think what would happen if one of those rapists got their hands his siblings or friends. It's good thing I decided to let Artemis and her hunters deal with those camps. Naruto said. They would probably have a good time shooting down those rapists, especially the guys. By the way Naruto looked at the prisoners she tortured. The 3 guys are beaten up badly, probably have internal bleeding from the looks of it. The 2 girls, however. What on earth did you do to them? Naruto asked as he looked at the daughter of Demeter and daughter of Hermes. The 2 of them are drooling, with their eyes rolled back in their heads and their head tilted backwards. The 2 of them are giving the occasional groans, and he heard vibration from somewhere. Kali grinned. Just a new form of torture I decided to work on. Naruto heard the 2 groan loudly, and he suddenly smelled something sweet. He decided to leave, ignoring the perverted part of his head to get more details. Thank you Kali, I'll be sure to give this to Chiron. With that, Naruto left quickly, trying to get rid of the images in his head. New Orleans, abandoned factory. Naruto, Bianca, Thalia and Claris looked at the mini army of demigods down below them. The 4 of them were wearing white vests, similar to a Chunin and Jonin vest, with different colors and their parent symbols on their backs. They also had leather straps on their shoulders, elbows and knees, as well as their individual weapons with them. Thalia, her spear and shield, Bianca her bow, Claris her spear, and Naruto his naginata. Naruto saw that several of the adult demigods, criminals, had guns on them and were at the 2nd level of the factory, watching for anyone coming out of the doors. The younger demigods were at the bottom of the factory, with regular weapons. 20 of them to count. The others must be farther in the building, along with Alabaster and Lamia. Okay, so here's the plan. Naruto whispered. I'll send shadow clones in and kill the ones with the guns. Claris, Thalia, the 3 of us will take down the demigods at the middle of the area while Bianca go up top and send support fire. The 3 nodded. Before they go, however, Naruto gave them a hard stare. Remember, only capture when they surrender themselves. Don't ask them to surrender. Naruto said firmly to them. Some of them won't even talk with you. They would only attack. Capture them if they surrender. Otherwise, you will have to kill them. The 3 looked nervous at the prospect of killing, even though Bianca had killed before, but they nodded. Naruto performed the volcanic clone jutsu and formed 8 clones. He sent them to go up the roofs and to get rid of the criminals. Wait for the explosion. Naruto whispered. They waited a few minutes. When they heard the explosions, Naruto spoke. Alright, go. Thalia and Claris ran to the entrance while Bianca's shadow traveled and Naruto fire teleported. The demigods inside were disoriented, some of them on their butts, while the criminals were charred and dead. When Thalia and Claris went in, they didn't have the time adjust. The 3 were slaughtering them, with only some of them getting the chance to gain their bearings and fight back. Thalia and Claris were using their spears injure them, having them on the ground, only for Naruto to finish them off before they could get up. Any that attacked, Thalia blocked with her shield, with Claris or Naruto using the chance to kill them. Bianca was firing off arrow after arrow, taking any that tried to attack them from behind. Many others come out from the doorway, hearing the battle outside of their rooms. And some came out from the 2nd level of the building, forcing Bianca to force her attention on them. Finally, Alabaster and Lamia came out, the both of them ready for the fight. Naruto saw this and cut off the head of a son of Ares he was fighting. I'm going to fight these 2. Thalia, Claris, try to handle these guys by yourselves. Thalia nodded after she electrocuted 3 demigods with an electro ball. No problem Whiskers. Just be careful. She blocked a swipe of a sword with her shield and stabbed the demigod who did it. Naruto charged through the group that surrounded them, killing any that tried to stop him. Finally, he was face to face with the leaders of this army. I finally found you Alabaster. Naruto said, putting up his naginata and getting out his elemental sword. You know, you were hard to find. Even my contacts had a harder time to track you with all the times you were moving. Alabaster sneered. What did you expect from a son of Hecate? He said confidently. Then he scowled at him. You will pay for influencing the others, including our leaders, to join the wrong side. And Kronos is better. Naruto retorted. Did you forget the things he did in order to keep his rule? How he ate his own fucking children. Like Zeus is a better king. Alabaster countered. He degraded my mother to a minor goddess thanks to his damn paranoia. He also killed and punished many of the immortals as well. Kronos, however, will reward us for a job well done. With that, he pulled out his sword. An imperial gold sword formed from the mist. Lamia, herself, had her claws grow large. Naruto sighed, not bothering to try and convince him further. The boy had it straight in his mind that fighting the gods was the right thing to do. So, with no hesitation, he lifted up his swords with both hands and prepared to fight. Lamia charged at him and swung her claws, only for Naruto to run at her and then slide under the swing. He swung his red-hot sword at Alabaster, who blocked it and pushed him back. Naruto ducked under a swing from Lamia and blocked a swipe from the son of Hecate. He pushed the demigod back quickly and gave Lamia a roundhouse quick before she could attempt to attack again. Alabaster came at him and sent him several slashes and swipes at him, with Naruto blocking every swipe. At the next block, he made both swords go up and form a fireball in his hand. Alabaster was forced to move diagonally back and land on his back in order to dodge the fire. Naruto was about to stab in the legs to keep him from escaping, only to back away. Lamia sent an explosive spell near his feet. Lamia stood by Alabaster while the son of Hecate himself got up. The two children of Hecate held out their hands before sending several spells at Naruto. Naruto used his sword to evaporate every one of those spells before throwing another fireball and sending the two back. He quickly ran at Lamia, seeing her as the bigger threat and wanted to get rid of her first and made a molten Rasengan before hitting her right in the stomach. Lamia screamed in pain right before she disintegrated into golden dust. Naruto grinned at Alabaster. Now it's your turn. He rushed at Alabaster, who barely any time blocked the strikes Naruto sent. Naruto sent out several fast attacks, refusing to let the son of Hecate attack. The teen was sweating, getting exhausted at the onslaught Naruto was sending him. Finally, when Alabaster blocked the next strike, Naruto twisted the sword and then disarmed the demigod. Before Alabaster had the chance to recover, Naruto formed a fireball and thrust it right on his chest. That caused an explosion that sent the boy flying back. Luckily, he only unconscious and only had a minor third-degree burn on his chest. "You are lucky your mother wants you alive so she can deal with you," Naruto said with a sigh. He then looked behind him to see Thalia and Claris tying up the demigods that surrendered, which were a dozen. Naruto picked up the unconscious demigod and put him on his shoulder before walking up to the two demigoddesses. "You did well you two," Naruto said with a smile, causing the two to blush. "You were successful on your first mission. And I'm sorry I made you guys kill, but either that or the both of you risk being killed." Claris spoke for both of them. "It's no problem Naruto. We both know that we would probably have to kill eventually. I'm just glad that we're dealing with this now." Thalia nodded. When Naruto was fighting Alabaster, it took all their will not to go into shock when they killed these demigods. They had to breath in and out in order not to freak out. Naruto started to look around for Bianca, only to see no one else up the second level. Girls, where Bianca?" "She went in the other rooms to see if there are any other rebels left," Thalia answered. "She just went in the next hall a couple of seconds ago." She pointed at the one behind him. Naruto nodded and went to the hall there. His instincts told him that something bad is about to happen to her and he need to go now to stop it. But Bianca. The girl crept slowly in the hall, arrow at the ready. She told Claris and Thalia that she's gonna check all the other rooms for any other demigods. She doesn't want any to escape in order to tell Kronos what happened. So far, she didn't found any in any of the rooms. She finally went in the last one, arrow drawn. "Drop your bow," a voice told her at the side. Her instincts was telling her to shoot the guy beside her, but instead, she found herself doing what he told her to do against her own will. "Stand straight and don't run or attack me." Bianca tried to fight back, but she slowly succumbed to the voice. A charm speaker. She looked in the corner of eye to see an adult male coming out of the corner of the room, looking at her lecherously. "I was wondering if someone was going to come here," the man said, walking around her. Bianca felt fear gripping her, seeing the man looking at her like she's a piece of meat. "I heard an attack here and knew I had to wait in case everyone else died." He observed her for a few seconds and realization in his eyes. "So you're the daughter of Hades. Kronos would love to have you forced into his rank. But first, I think we can have a little fun." She felt him grope her ass, making her whimper. "Now, strip," the man commanded her. Her body was trying to do what he ordered her to do, but she was fighting back against the charm speak with all her might. "I said, strip." She felt her succumbing to the charm speak and was about to undress when the door burst open and the man was sent flying with a fireball at the chest, breaking her out of the charm speak. Bianca looked behind her to see a furious Naruto, his eyes fiery red, blazing with fury. Naruto slowly walked to the down man, every step forming fire under him. When he tried to get up, Naruto threw two kunai at his feet, making the man cry out in pain. "Who are you?" Naruto asked quietly, his voice laced with fury. When the man merely groaned, Naruto took out a kunai and stabbed him through the kneecap, making him scream. I asked you a question. You better answer it. The man managed to groan out. Mike, son of Aphrodite. Naruto took out the kunai, making the man scream more. Were you planning to hide here and take one of my friends? Naruto hissed. The man gave a nod with a painful expression on his face. Alabaster told me on the IM to hide here if they failed to defeat you guys. If you do, he instructed me to bring one of them to Kronos, the daughter of Zeus or the daughter of Hades specifically. Naruto growled at him, causing him to whimper. And you planned to rape them? It wasn't a question this time. He heard his last command to Bianca. How many girls did you charm speak? When the man didn't answer, Naruto stabbed him in the other kneecap, causing him to scream more. The next stab will go through the balls. Several. Mike admitted fearfully. Lost track after 20 when I was 17. Charm spoke girls 14 through their early 20s. Sometimes 12 or 13 if they're developed enough. Naruto wanted to kill this man, right here and now, but decided to wait. He sneered at him. I would kill you right now, but that would be too big a mercy. I let Artemis and Hades deal with you personally. Mike looked at him with horror in his eyes. Before he could plead for mercy, Naruto knocked him out with the back of the kunai to the head. He got up and looked at daughter of Hades, who was shaking badly. Bianca? Naruto called out softly, slowing walking to her so he won't startle her. He stopped a few feet away from her in case she wanted space. Bianca, are you okay? Without warning, the girl launched herself at him, sobbing silently in his shirt, with a few whimpers. Naruto merely held on to her, whispering comforting words to her to help her calm down. Naruto hoped Artemis gives the worst possible torture while he's alive, while Hades gives him the worst possible punishment when he died. Scum like him deserves it. Chapter 3. Debriefing with Gods. Naruto walked out of the hall, with Bianca in his arms and clones carrying the son of Aphrodite. The girl was too in shock to move, so Naruto had to carry her. He hoped that this wouldn't affect her too badly, but he was glad that he showed up in time. Otherwise, it would have probably been worse. Naruto glared at the unconscious son of the love goddess. Honestly, why on earth did Aphrodite think that it was a good idea to give this guy charm-speaking abilities? Did she even think about taking away his ability when he first raped a girl? Did she even pay attention to what her children were doing? Obviously not, since a charm-speaking rapist is still running loose. It was either that or she let this happen to add more drama to love lives, but that'll be a worst-case scenario. If the worst-case scenario is true, then he will rip her a new one. Thalia and Claris' eyebrows rose in concern when they saw Naruto with Bianca in his arm and two clones carrying a man. When they opened their mouth, Naruto gave them a look that said that he would explain. They closed their mouth, but they were still worried. Naruto made some more clones to grab the remaining demigods and sent them to the barracks of camp, except for Alabaster and Mike. Zeus wanted to see the leader of the rebellion and put him on trial, though Naruto would make sure he receives some mercy. That was a promise he made to Hecate. Fire teleport all of them to the barracks and inform Chiron about the mission being success. Naruto told the clone. When you finish your objectives, make sure you dispel one at a time. He gave him all pointed looks. There was one time all of his clones dispensed at once, and that was not a fun time. Not a fun time at all. The clones nodded before grabbing a demigod and teleporting them to camp. 4 clones carried the son of Hecate and the son of Aphrodite to the car and put them in the middle of the car, with chains on them. Naruto was about to put Bianca down when she tightened her grip on him. He sighed, knowing that this might happen. Bianca. Don't go. Bianca whispered. Please. Naruto sighed at that. Even if it was near rape, it was still traumatizing for someone innocent as Bianca. He looked at Thalia. Think you could drive, Thals? Thalia nodded, but looked at Bianca in concern before getting in the front. Claris gave the same look before entering in shotgun. Naruto entered the back and sat comfortably in the car, with the daughter of Hades on his lap. Normally, the 2 girls in the front would have been jealous, but they were more concerned about their friend than being jealous. What happened in there, Naruto? Thalia asked while she drove. Naruto gave a quick glare at the unconscious charm speaker before looking at the 2 girls in the front. The guy we took with us is a charm speaker. He tried to use his charm speak to have his way with Bianca. Naruto said to them. The 2 girls' eyes widened, then scowled fiercely. Thalia tried so hard not to let her powers affect her while she's driving, otherwise, they would be in for a crazy ride. I'm taking that you are taking this fucker to Olympus for Hades to torture him. Claris asked angrily, wanting to skewer the man with her spear. Naruto nodded. I'm betting that Hades is going to give him a special torture place, considering that it was his daughter that was nearly raped. Naruto said to them. Thalia quickly got them to the Manhattan and stopped at the Empire State Building, where Olympus is at. Thalia and Claris were the first to get out, with Naruto and Bianca being next. The girl started walking on her own now, but she still clung on to Naruto. The same clones that carried the demigods picked them up and dragged them by the arms. The group entered the building and into the elevator. While they are waiting, Naruto looked onto the paper he grabbed in the factory. He found them after he defeated Alabaster and took them, thinking that it might tell them what Kronos was planning. As he read them, his eyes slowly widened. He can think of one word for what he is reading. Shit. Olympian meeting room. Naruto, Bianca, Thalia and Claris were in the Olympian room, with the two demigod prisoners behind them, still being held by the clones. All of the Olympians, plus Hades and Hestia, were in the room. Naruto managed to have Bianca stop clinging to him before they went in the Olympian throne room, but she still held his hand with an iron grip. "So what's the report, Naruto?" Hephaestus asked him. They all heard about Naruto's mission to take down any rebels down, and so far, he's done well. Naruto looked at them with his hands clasped behind his back. The factory is gone. Most of the demigods and all the criminal demigods are dead, with only 11 of them surrendering. I have a report of those that died and those that survived. The gods and goddesses nodded, some of them apprehensive at seeing the report, of seeing which of their children died. "And Alabaster?" Zeus asked. At his question, the clones dragged on unconscious Alabaster. He smiled. "Perfect. We will punish him accordingly. With respect Zeus, this is mainly a demigod problem and he should be judged by the people of camp," Naruto said, interrupting Zeus. Zeus scowled at him for interrupting him. "And why should I do that?" Zeus demanded, thunder rumbling in the background. "This is not just a demigod problem. He betrayed the camp in Olympus, so he should be punished by Olympians. Isn't one of your rules said not to be involved in mortal affairs?" Naruto retorted. Before Zeus could say anything, Naruto continued. "He never attacked Olympus directly, only recruited demigods. And his army only harmed demigods at camp, not immortals from Olympus. And even though we demigods have godly blood, we are still mortal, so you can't deal him any punishment." Zeus bit back a growl while Naruto hid a smirk. The ancient rules Zeus reminded everyone about being used against him. And they both knew it. "Fine." Zeus said begrudgingly. "Alabaster will be judged by the counselors in Camp Half-Blood, as well as any other demigod captured. Is there anything else you need to say or is this meeting concluded?" "One more thing," Naruto said, looking towards Hades. "And it concerns the Lord of the Dead's daughter." Hades perked up when he heard that and noticed Bianca's stature. Heads down, a bit of shaking, and holding Naruto's hand tightly. Hades frowned. "What happened during your mission?" Naruto had the clones bring the unconscious son of Aphrodite in front of the room, making Aphrodite's eyes widen. "This is Mike, a criminal and charm speaker," Naruto said seriously. "He is also a rapist of several girls from 14 to their early 20s. At rare times, girls at age 12 or 13. When he said that, there were several murderous looks from the goddesses, none more vicious than the goddess of the hunt. Aphrodite has a look of shock and disgust. How could her own child do that?" Naruto continued. Bianca was checking for any surviving demigods when she bumped into him. Hades' eyes widened, realizing the implication, before they narrowed in pure anger. "Did that scum force himself on her?" Hades asked, trying to control the anger he was feeling. "He tried to," Naruto said, though the word tried did not relax Hades' anger. "But I managed to stop him in time. She wasn't touched in any disgusting way, though she is shaken up from the experience." Hades gave the man a murderous glare. "Wake him up." Hades hissed, the shadows slowly forming around him. Naruto nodded and his two clones stepped on his ankles, hard, to wake him up and to prevent him from running. "Ah!" Mike yelled, waking up from the pain. He then noticed that he was not in the factory anymore, but in the Olympian throne room. And most of the goddesses and Hades were glaring at him with murder in their eyes. "I have a special kind of torture set up for you, son of Aphrodite," Hades said menacingly, making the man pale. "But I think Artemis would want to bring you back with her hunters to have a little fun with you. Am I correct, Artemis?" Artemis nodded with a dark smile. The hunters did need something to use for target practice. And my wolves were getting antsy. Mike paled even more and he turned to his mother with a pleading desperate look in his eyes. "Mother, don't let them take me," he begged, but Aphrodite just stared at him with disappointment. "You told me that I use my powers to add drama in women's lives. To break several of their hearts. And I did just that." Before she could say anything, several heads turned to Aphrodite, Artemis and Hades, giving her full glares. "You told him to rape other women." Artemis hissed dangerously, preparing an arrow to go through Aphrodite's head. The love goddess spoke before she could do anything. "I didn't tell him to do that," Aphrodite said defensively. Then looked down. "I just thought at the time that my son could use the power add drama in other love lives." She flinched when she saw the glares of several, including Naruto, Thalia and Claris. "And what drama you added, Aphrodite?" Hades said sarcastically. "Some of those women probably went to suicide. I should know, since the underworld is my domain. And you didn't bother to check what your son was doing. Aphrodite flinched harder at that. All I can say is that I'm sorry. Aphrodite said, but then glared at her son. I can also say this. I'll take away his charm-speaking ability, and I also disown him as my son. Artemis can have him if she wants. He is no son of mine. Mike stared at his mother in horror while Artemis grinned. Artemis quickly flashed to Naruto and grabbed the boy by the gruff of his collar. No, no. Don't take me there. Mike begged, trying to get out of Artemis' grip. Mercy. Mercy please. Mother, help me please. He kept on begging until he was out of the door. Naruto grinned. He hoped Artemis takes pictures of this guy's torture. He also was a bit impressed with what Aphrodite did. He honestly expected her to defend her son, but he was glad that she realized what she'd done and did something. That charm-speaking ability would have had him a chance to escape and probably rape one of the hunters as well. Artemis quickly teleported back to her thrones. The hunters have him now. I quickly explained to them why I brought him there and they were happy to punish him before killing him. Naruto grinned at that. That's good. Naruto said. If there is one thing I hate in this world, it's rapists. He looked at Apollo, Zeus, and Ares, 3 gods who raped at least one time in the past. And Artemis, can I talk to you at camp? About the state of the other bases? Artemis nodded to that. With that, the meeting was adjourned and the Olympians went on to their other business. Naruto and his friends got off Olympus and back to Camp Half-Blood quickly. Chiron needed to hear about what he found in that factory. Camp Half-Blood. After they all went back to camp, Naruto had a couple of clones take Alabaster to the barracks and one more to take Bianca back to her cabin, where Nico was at. Naruto, Thalia and Claris went to the big house, where they saw Chiron, Dionysus and Artemis in the room. Chiron had a grim look on his face. Artemis and Dionysus told me of what happened. Chiron said, looking at the 3 demigods. And I'm guessing that Bianca went to her cabin to recover from her mission. I can understand why, though Naruto, if you hadn't gotten there in time, it would have been a lot worse. Naruto nodded. I would have done it again. Bianca doesn't deserve something like that to happen to her, and I'm glad I stopped it. Thalia and Claris nodded in agreement. He then turned to Artemis. How did your hunters do with the other bases? Artemis smiled at him. We destroyed the bases at camp and captured all of the demigods that surrendered, with only a few of my hunters injured. We also found plans for weapons. She tossed them to Naruto, who caught them. When he opened the scroll, his eyes widened and grinned. I think I know what to do with these plans. Naruto said. I'm keeping an eye on a few demigods that don't know about their heritage. When it's summertime, they can come to the camp and I can show them the plans. Chiron nodded in approval of that. Naruto then frowned. I found something as well. Something troubling. He gave the plans to Chiron and Artemis. Kronos is planning to recruit shinobi from the elemental country. They destroyed the Sound Village, controlled any remaining Sound ninjas, which is a lot, and killed Orochimaru, the leader of the village. Kabuto now leads that army and also has most of Orochimaru's experiments. Chiron and Artemis frowned as they read the plans. And it looks like we've found out how the ninjas got here without godly help. Chiron said, looking a bit pale. They found an entrance to the labyrinth, one that would take them from the elemental country to where Kronos is hiding. If they find an entrance to here, the whole camp could be massacred. Naruto shook his head. We can't let that happen. We will need to double the training and have the camp fully prepared for anything. Chiron nodded, but Naruto noticed Artemis holding another article of paper. Did you find something else, Artemis? Artemis gave him the next report she discovered. It seems that Kronos has someone else leading the monster army for him, someone from your old home. Naruto read the report and when he did, he scowled. Of all the people, of anyone in the elemental country, why does it have to be him? The one person who hated him more than anything. And probably even more since he killed Itachi. I'm going to my bunker, Chiron. Naruto said tiredly. I need to absorb the information in my head. Chiron nodded in understanding while Artemis flashed out of the room. Naruto walked out of the room, with Thalia and Claris looking at him with curiosity and concern. Whiskers, why are you so upset about this? Thalia asked him. She's not glad that Kronos found someone else to lead his army, but Naruto had this furious look in his eyes. Because this guy is someone who hates me and vice versa. A rival of mine back at home. Someone I told you two about. Claris and Thalia thought about it for a bit before their eyes widened. Then, they said the only name that fits Naruto description. Sasuke Uchiha. Night. Naruto was at the roof of his cabin, staring at the night sky. It wasn't curfew time yet for his cabin, so he just lazed around with his own thoughts about what happened today. His old life just kept trying to capture him in an iron grip. First it was the several shinobi being sent after him, then the Akatsuki after him, and now Sasuke joining the people he's fighting. That duck butt head would do anything for power, so Kronos must have offered him a lot. Naruto sighed, thinking of the prophecy Chiron told him and Thalia years ago. It was a few months after he got to camp for the first time. It was only for Thalia to hear, but Naruto convinced Chiron to let him hear as well. If something concerned any of his precious people, it concerned him as well. The half-blood of the eldest god shall reach 17 against all odds. Naruto murmured. And see the world in endless sleep. The enemy will make one final sweep. Two rivals go face to face and decide if Olympus is to be preserved or razed. Naruto suspected that the prophecy involves him as well. Along with Percy and Sasuke. Thalia is already past her 17th birthday and technically isn't a half-blood anymore, and out of Percy, Bianca and Aiko, Percy is the oldest. And the words two rival go face to face doesn't leave up much to imagine. So, he, Percy and Sasuke will decide the fate of Olympus. Yippee. Why did he always end up in this shit? You seem troubled, Naruto. A gentle voice said from beside him. Naruto turned his head to see Hestia, sitting right beside him. She's in her kid form, her knees folded up and her arms around them. Hestia. Naruto said, smiling at the goddess. The two of them had been talking over the years and Naruto enjoyed being with the goddess. She is always kind and pleasant to talk with, even Ares had a problem being mean to eldest goddess. Are you here to chat or to deliver any messages? A bit of both actually. Hestia replied to him. Hades wanted you to know that you have his gratitude and that he will be in your debt for saving his daughter. The Lord of the Underworld does care for his children more than he would like to admit. Naruto smiled at that. Hades doesn't owe me anything, Hestia. Naruto replied. She's my friend, my precious people. I will always protect anyone precious to me without hesitation. That is one of the things I like about you, Naruto, Hestia thought with a bit of a blush. But she didn't say that out loud. During her talks with the blonde, she began to develop feelings for him. At first, she was confused about them and a bit scared, but now, she could see clearly that she had quickly fell for the blonde. And she can also see that he captured the hearts of several women, even Athena and Artemis. She broke out of her thoughts when Naruto spoke again. And what is the second thing? At the response, Hestia took out several capsules in her pocket. Poseidon found the 6 tails. Artemis managed to find the 7 tails. And with Hephaestus and Poseidon combined efforts, we managed to find 5 tails. Hestia told him. Naruto held up each of the capsules before storing them in one of his seals. So we got Matatabi, Isobu, Son Goku, Kakuo, Seiken, Chimei, Jayuki, and Kurama. Naruto summarized. Now all that's left is Shukaku, the one-tailed beast. You will probably need the help of minor gods and goddesses to track him, seeing that he isn't really in any of your domain. Either that or I can ask Apollo for help, but the man still holds a grudge against me being friends with his sister. Naruto frowned at that. Apollo is the jealous type, from what he read in Greek mythology. He just hoped that his jealousy doesn't target any of his friends. Otherwise, there will be hell to pay. Hestia broke his musing. Can you tell us where to look for him? Probably in the desert and/or beaches. Naruto said immediately. Sand is in main domain, so he'll probably be hiding under the sand or in a sandstorm. Hestia nodded. Goodbye, Naruto. Hestia said. Before she left though, she had a thoughtful look on her face. And then, to Naruto's surprise, she kissed him on the cheek. I hope we talk again soon. Before Naruto could ask about the kiss, Hestia teleported back to Olympus. After that, Naruto just stood on the roof, holding his cheek. Why did Hestia kiss him? From what he knew, she only ever did that with her siblings, and those were sibling-like kisses. So why does she kiss him on the cheek? Sure, they are close friends, but something in the back in his mind is telling him that it wasn't that. The only thing he could think of is that she has feelings for him, but he doubted it. She's a virgin goddess and has never fallen in love for millennia. So why would she now? He decided to stop thinking on it and went to his cabin when it was nearly time to sleep. The day drained him and he needed to rest. But the kiss was still in his head for the remainder of the day. Dream flashback. It's been a few days since Naruto saved Annabeth from the giant spider. Since then, she has been his traveling companion. Whenever there was danger, Naruto would tell Annabeth to hide before he fights. He also used his knowledge of hunting to provide him and Annabeth food, along with stealing some treats at stores or money to get those treats. No one ever caught him. Right now, the two were somewhere at Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They were at park, where Annabeth was enjoying some snack cakes Naruto bought from the money he stole. He was checking his weapons and seals on him, also thinking. He needed to teach Annabeth to fight soon. Hiding while he fights is not going to provide safety for her. And a monster might spot her and see her as an easy meal. He's not going to push her over the limit, no, but teach her some things that would help her defend herself. Annabeth. Naruto said, after a few moments. The young girl looked up to her older brother figure, swallowing a bite of her cake. Do you have any knowledge of how to fight? Like using a sword or a knife? Annabeth shook her head. No. I never really been taught how to defend myself against the monsters and mostly ran until you found me, Naruto." She was surprised when Naruto gave her a kunai. "Well, that needs to change. I can't protect you forever," Naruto said, giving her a bronze kunai. "I'll teach how to throw and fight with a kunai, something you can use when a monster get too close." Annabeth's eyes shined in excitement, something that made Naruto chuckle. The Athena inside her is really strong. "You're going to teach me to be a ninja?" Annabeth asked excitingly. Naruto nodded, smiling at the blonde girl. Before he knew it, Annabeth launched herself at Naruto and hugged him tightly. "Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." Naruto laughed as the girl hugged him tightly. He is glad that he found this girl. Found his first friend in this country. Months later, Leaf Village. Tsunade looked at the Leaf Ninjas gathered here. She stopped sending Leaf Ninjas after Naruto for a few months due to the staggering amount of injured ones. Now, they are all healed up and ready for any mission. During those months, she's been thinking up several strategies for getting Naruto back. Facing him head on his suicide, which she figured out real quickly when only one returned, traumatized. So she thought of capturing one of Naruto's friends, using them as a bargaining chip. Hey, she's a ninja. And ninja don't play fair. They play to win in any way possible. So, she sent several top Anbu to search any of his friends that wasn't in camper with him. Finally, she found a total of 3, only being guarded by clones. The black hair and tan skin girl named Piper McLean. The black hair boy named Leo Valdez. And one of Naruto's companions, Percy Jackson. Alright, I want 3 teams of 4 to capture the 3 unharmed. She looked around the group, trying to see which ones wouldn't blow this up. Finally, she chose. Team 7, I want you to capture Percy Jackson. Team 7 used to be Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke and Kakashi, but now, it's Sakura, Kakashi, Yamato, and Sai. The 4 nodded. She also made 2 more teams of random ninjas to capture the other 2 targets. I want the capture to be as quick and quiet as possible. We can't afford to let Naruto have the time to stop you. Tsunade told them. If you harm any of them, I will make all of you have the sole mission of taking care of Tora for a year. Several of ninjas shivered and/or paled. That is straight up torture if there ever was any. Even Ibiki and Anko were scared to take that mission. Now, prep up and go. With that, the ninjas prepare themselves to capture those 3. Oh, little do they know that 2/3 of them are digging up their own grave. Chapter 4. Attempted kidnappings. With Naruto clone. Piper McLean, daughter of Aphrodite. Naruto met her years ago, age 11, he thinks, when he sent several clones to get several jobs. Hey, he needed materials for the weapons, machines, and armors he builds. One of those jobs was being an assistant for Tristan McLean after his last assistant, Jane, mysteriously disappeared. He also turned into a babysitter when he met Piper McLean. Piper McLean is a bit of tomboy, purposefully trying to not as pretty as she is, though that doesn't work. She has that rare natural beauty Aphrodite's daughters would kill to have. She has dark tanned skin, brown hair that is choppy and uneven, and eyes that change colors like a kaleidoscope. She and Naruto became close friends, a brother-sister relationship, over the years. Right now, Naruto is driving Piper to Camp Half-Blood. Naruto decided to take her there as she grew older, after he had Tristan spend more time with her. A silver tongue can come a long way with others, and he used that tongue so Piper and Tristan could spend more time together, like father and daughter. Piper was very grateful to have Naruto as an assistant for her dad. So, how close is this camp? Piper asked. She was at Naruto's side, wearing a white jacket, red shirt, and blue jeans. She and Naruto had been driving for a couple of hours, just getting to Manhattan. It shouldn't be too long ahead. Naruto answered, not taking his eyes off the road. Should take close to an hour or so before we arrive. Before we do though, want to get something to eat. Piper agreed to that. She admits she was a bit hungry from the long drive. So the 2 stopped at Sonic's, where Naruto got a hot dog while Piper got a salad. So, Naruto. Piper started, after swallowing a bite of her salad. What is the camp like? Is it fun? Naruto looked at her while he took a slurp of his soda. Well. Naruto said, trying to put together to what he wanted to say. He didn't reveal her heritage to Piper and planned to tell her once they were close enough. Boss's orders. Once you get to camp, the campers would most likely feel like family to you. We have fun activities. Most of them are not like the regular ones. We also got an advanced version of Capture the Flag, one that is more exciting the regular game. Piper smiled. It sounds fun. She took another bite of her salad as her mind wandered a bit. She remembered when Naruto told her that she's going to a camp at New York a few months back, something he talked to her father about. Her dad would be working a lot in the summer with other movies, so Naruto made a plan for camp so she could be occupied. Naruto, why did you suggest this camp? Naruto thought about what he should say without revealing too much yet. Then, he said. I won't tell you much, not until we get close, but it has to do with your mom's side of the family. Piper head whipped towards Naruto when she heard that. You know my mom? Piper asked, a bit excited and angry. Excited at the fact she might to know more about her mother. And angry Naruto didn't tell her before. Naruto saw the brief flash of anger in her eyes and smiled apologetically at her. Sorry Pipes, I didn't want to keep the information from you. But it was something I was told not to reveal to you. Your mother is well known to certain groups and revealing the information to you now is dangerous until we get close to camp. Why? Piper demanded, unconsciously using her charm-speaking ability. Is it really that dangerous to reveal who my mother is? Naruto closed his eyes, mentally resisting the charm-speaking ability. She has more power in it than Drew and even Selena before he had enough control of himself to speak. Yeah, it is that dangerous Piper. Naruto said to her. Giving information can be a dangerous thing to do and I don't to do anything that would cause harm on you. Whatever anger she had against Naruto, it went down. She knew him long enough to know that he never do anything unless for it's a good reason. And honestly, she couldn't hate Naruto, not after all the things he did for her and her dad. So Naruto, what can you tell me about my mom? Immediately, Piper could see that she said something wrong. Naruto scowled while his knuckles turned white. Naruto closed eyes, controlling the anger that wants to literally explode, before saying. I only know of her and met her once. I can't really say anything that would reveal her identity, but let's just say I don't have the friendliest of relationships with her. Piper was concerned at that. But before she could say anything, Naruto's eyes widened. He sensed 4 chakra signatures coming this way and coming fast. We need to get out. Now. Piper is confused as to why, but Naruto didn't give her the chance to question him. He quickly got her out of the shotgun seat, getting a startled yelp from her before he threw himself out of the car with Piper in his arms. Seconds later, 4 shinobi landed on the car, creating several dents on it. Naruto groaned, seeing the car and the shinobi. Tristan is going to kill me. Naruto muttered before glaring at the shinobi. Is this another attempt at getting me back in the village? The leader didn't say anything. He just charged at Naruto with kunai in hand. Naruto pulled out the kasai weapon and changed the cylinder into a metal staff to block the attack. Get the girl. Quickly. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw 3 others charge at Piper, who was frozen in fear. Naruto quickly pushed the leader back and hit his head hard with a swing of his staff before fire teleporting in front of Piper, stopping the ninjas on their tracks. If you want her, you will have to kill me first. Naruto said coldly. He then summoned 5 clones to surround Piper, making her eyes widen. Don't let them get to her. Kill anyone that gets close to her. Aye, boss. All 5 clones said. The 3 shinobi in front of him charged at him, bringing out kunai and shuriken. 2 of them threw the shuriken at Naruto, only for him to deflect them with his staff. He performed several flips with his staff before hitting one of them with the end of his staff and sending him flying. He ducked from one swing and swung his staff down around the man's legs and sent him on the ground. He moved his staff upward to break the man's neck but was forced back when the third one tried to stab him. In the corner of his eyes, he saw the first one running to the clone brigade. Big mistake. Without any commands given, the 3 clones in front and beside Piper formed their own fireball and threw them at the shinobi. He ended up flying into the sonic sign with a cry of pain. Damn it. One of the shinobi cursed. Why couldn't it be easy beating the demon? The shinobi beside him gave the loudmouth a stare that screamed quiet, you idiot. But the idiot didn't listen. Once we get rid of you clones and capture the girl, we will have some fun with her. The Hokage said to bring her unharmed, but that doesn't mean we couldn't have her. Piper paled in fear and disgust at what they are suggesting. Meanwhile, all 5 Naruto have their eyes turn red in fiery anger. There is one thing he hates the most, and that is the concept of rape and rapists. Okay, you'll die last. And painfully. Naruto hissed venomously, killing intent washing over them. And the idiot who said it will regret saying those words. Naruto vanished in a fiery flash and smashed one of the shinobi face first into the concrete ground, with his head splattering everything at the force of the smash. He then turned to the other one, with his hands filled with fire. The man paled and stepped back from him, pulling out a kunai. Stand back demon. I'm warning you. He said shakily, taking a step back away from him. Naruto didn't say anything. Just appeared right in front of him and sent a Rasengan right through his chest, drilling him to the ground. The man's eyes widened and cried out in pain, feeling his organs being ripped to shreds. When the attack was finished, Naruto glared down at him. You people call me a demon. Call me evil. Call me a monster. But the only monster I see is you. Naruto whispered, glaring down at the man. The man let out his last breath before his soul went to the underworld. After the man died, Naruto looked to where Piper and clones were at. The Cherokee girl had a combination of fear, disbelief, and confusion. Naruto. Piper said slowly, as all the clones dispelled. What the hell is going on? Several use appearing out of nowhere, ninjas attacking us, Vasa spells you used. What is? I'll explain later, Piper. Naruto told her calmly. He then looked towards the last surviving shinobi. Right now, I need to get information from him. I want to know why they try to take you. Houston, Texas. Leo Valdez, son of Hephaestus. A clone of Naruto hired him at one of the workshops he built after meeting him at an alleyway. A car workshop to be exact. Leo is a Latino elf-like boy who is easygoing, upbeat, energetic, loves to tell jokes, even though most of them weren't funny, and a flirt. He has curly black hair, dark brown eyes, pointy ears, a cheerful elf-like face, and fair skin. He and Naruto became good friends over the year, a mentor and student relationship, as well as brotherly relationship, oh the irony. Right now, the two of them are finishing up at the workshop they are at. It's almost 7 and as soon as they finished, Naruto was going to get him to New York. To Camp Half-Blood. Leo knew a little more about his heritage than most do. He knew that his father had the same powers, as well as Naruto having the same abilities. Naruto not only helped him control that power, but also how to manipulate it. Hey, when Naruto saw potential, he exploited it as much as possible. And Leo definitely had potential. So, when are we going to this camp again? Leo asked as he fixed up an engine in one car they were repairing up. Naruto, meanwhile, was working in the bottom of the car. After we finished this last car. Naruto called out in the bottom of the car. Geez, Leo, you sound impatient. Hey. You said there is a workshop there and hot chicas. Leo said excitingly, a dreamy smile at the last part. Then a nail hit him on the forehead. Ow. Stop doing that. Then stop having that look whenever you think about girls, Elfie. I have already seen it way too many times back at my old home. Naruto told him. He got out the bottom of the car, finished with the repairs, and sat up. Leo pouted. I hate it when you call me that. Hey, you got an elf-like face. The name suits you. Doesn't mean I can't hate it. Get over it, you big baby. Naruto said with a grin. Now let's go, we got a long way to go, so we should leave now. Leo nodded with an excited smile. Not only he's excited about the workshop and the hot girls there, but also he heard that the campers there are just like them. They don't have fire powers exactly, but they all have special abilities. As Naruto went to close shop, Leo went to his room at the far back of the workshop. The room was custom made by his and Naruto's combined effort, with fire-painted walls that glow like real fire, a bed that can change from a soft cotton bed to a fun water bed, a mini workshop of his own, and even a flat-screen TV, with several games and consoles set up for him. Leo smiled. Ever since Naruto found him, Leo felt like he had a family again. Ever since his mom died and the rest of his family turned against him, he has been alone, escaping several foster homes due to the pain of losing his mom. Since Naruto found him, his life had gotten better. He learned to control his powers, doing the thing he loves for pay, and even got to meet some pretty ladies along the way. Not only that, but he even got a new family in Naruto. He quickly packed his stuff. Tools from his mini workshop, some clothing, a Nintendo, and other things. Just as he sat up, Naruto suddenly barged in the room. Whoa. Leo yelped, jumping back. What got you panicky? We need to leave. Now. Naruto told him serious. Leo suddenly a little worried, since Naruto wasn't like this unless something is going to happen. Get your bag and we'll get our fastest car. Maybe use the boost button if we have to. Naruto quickly got Leo to the garage, where the car. They got into the car, Naruto driving while Leo took the shotgun. Naruto, why are you rushing? Expecting the CIA to come knocking on our door. Something like that. Naruto answered. He started up the car before driving at full speed. Leo cried out as his body was pushed back inside the seat. Hey. Slow down, Blondie. Not an option. Naruto told him shortly before swerving around several cars. At this speed, he should make it to the other clone in just over half an hour. But unfortunately, the fates must hate him for changing several demigods and hunters' fates because he felt an explosion besides him, making the car lose balance. Shit. Naruto cursed as he tried to get back balance. In the corner of his eye, he saw on the rearview mirror 4 shinobi coming at him, all of them riding motorcycles. Where the fuck did they learn to drive motorcycles? What the hell? Leo yelled, seeing the shinobi himself in his own mirror. Who are these peoples? People that don't know when to give up. Naruto grunted in anger. He got an iris message from the clone protecting Piper, saying that shinobi were trying to take Leo, Piper, and Percy. So he decided to meet up with the clone before they go and get Percy's ass out of the fire. He hoped that he would have gotten them out of there before the shinobi could come here. He didn't account for them to drive motorcycles. And again, where the fuck did they learn to drive motorcycles? Hold on tight. Naruto told Leo. Naruto slowed down a little, not enough for anyone outside to notice, but enough for the shinobi to catch up. When they got close enough, Naruto made a complete stop. Unfortunately, the two shinobi behind him couldn't do the same and ended up crashing while the other two shinobi drove past them. The two cried out as they flew off when their motorcycles exploded. Luckily for the two sons of Hephaestus, the car has tough armor and is fireproof, like they are. Naruto quickly started the engine again and ran over the two shinobi. Damn. Leo said, looking at the corpses behind him. Talk about roadkill. Not funny, Leo. None of your jokes. Naruto said good-naturedly, despite the danger the two were in. Naruto pressed a button on the control panel in the middle of the front seats and two rockets were shot from the bottom of it. The rockets hit their targets, but one of the shinobi managed to jump off with a backflip before he could get caught in the explosion. And he landed on the roof of Naruto's car. Oh come on. Naruto exclaimed as the roof bent a little. Naruto swerved around the road to get the ninja off his car, but the man planted his hands and feet on the car with chakra. Naruto growled before giving off one of his feral grins. Leo, press your hand on the roof of the car. We're going to heat up the roof for this guy. Leo caught on to what Naruto's saying and gained his own elfie grin. Okay, Blondie. The two of them pressed one hand on the roof and gathered heat on them to heat up the roof to a burning level. It took a few minutes before they heard a cry of pain and a body hitting the road. Naruto pressed another button that sent out a parting gift for the shinobi. An electric grenade. Okay. Leo said, putting his hand down along with Naruto. That was kinda fun. Now, can you tell me what the hell is going on? I will, Leo. Naruto told him. He pressed a few buttons on the control panel before closing it up. I will tell you while we get to our destination. Hold on to your butt. With that, the car went from 80 to 200 miles per hour. Manhattan. Hyper and Naruto were at one of the bus stops, waiting for the other Naruto to come here. While they wait, Naruto explained everything. About the elemental nations, about Greek myths being real, and some part of his past. Hyper, meanwhile, had a look of pure disbelief. A continent full of ninjas. Greek gods and goddesses being real. Demigods living in a camp that protects them from monsters. All of that sounds really ridiculous. Finally, when Naruto finished everything, Hyper spoke. Tell me you are joking, Naruto. Naruto shook his head. I do pranks, not jokes. And I don't do these kinds of pranks unless somebody deserves it. He's right. Piper saw the pranks Naruto did and knew that he only does traumatizing pranks to those that deserves it. And Piper never did anything to antagonize the blonde. So Piper collapsed on the seat, absorbing all the information Naruto gave her. So, can you tell me who my mother is? Piper asked. Is it Demeter? Athena? Hecate? Naruto shook his head for all three of them. No to all three, although you can be smart enough to be a daughter of Athena. Naruto told her. Piper smiled a little at the compliment. Athena's children all have blonde hair and gray eyes, although there are a few exceptions from time to time if the genes are strong, and Athena only have brain babies with those who extremely smart. And while Tristan isn't stupid, he isn't in Athena's standard. Piper nodded in understanding, although is a bit disappointed. Naruto continued. You don't have a green thumb to be Demeter's daughter. You don't show signs of magic, so you can't be Hecate's. And Hera, Artemis, Hestia, and the other minor goddesses never had demigod children. So that's leave only one goddess in that category. Naruto can see Piper thinking about it for a bit before her eyes widen in horror. No way. Naruto stifled a laugh at Piper's horrified look and nodded. Despite not being the typical Aphrodite girl, you have a natural beauty most girls can't match. Naruto said and Piper blushed a little at the compliment. And also, you have an ability called charm speaking, an ability only Aphrodite children has. Charm speaking influences the mind of others, making them agree with anything you say, unless their will is strong or the person is powerful. It's only granted to a few of them if the goddess thinks he or she is worthy to have it. And she made a good decision with Piper, one of the few good decisions she made. Naruto thought in his head. Piper's horrified look disappeared a little when she heard that. She thinks I'm worthy to have it. Naruto nodded. Yeah. And I think she made a good choice in regard with you. Naruto said to her. Piper smiled a little. She felt happy that her mother, and a goddess at that, granted her that ability. That explains why she was able to steal stuff just by asking for it. But there is one thing that confused her. How come you aren't affected by my charm speaking? Piper asked the blonde. Naruto smiled and crossed his arm, leaning on the pole. I have a stronger will than most, and I am able to resist it. Naruto said to her. By the way, I can have the counselor of the Aphrodite cabin teach you more about the ability. She's one of the few good Aphrodite children. Piper perked up even more at the prospect of powering up her charm speaking. She can? Piper asked him with excitement in her eyes. Naruto laughed a little. If she wasn't a daughter of Aphrodite, he would have thought she was Athena's children with that look in her eyes. Yep. Naruto answered. And she can help me teach you how to fight, so people won't see you as a typical Aphrodite girl. Piper looked more excited at the prospect. she didn't like to be only seen as a pretty girl. So when she was 12 and Naruto asked her if she would want to learn to fight, she began learning hand-to-hand combat. Before she could say anything else, the two suddenly heard a car coming here, fast. The two turned to where the sound is coming from to see what exactly made that sound. The car kept coming in the same pace until it turned to the side and skidded to a stop, stopping right in front of them. Piper wasn't surprised when she saw another Naruto and a boy coming out of the car. The Naruto with her told her that several clones set up around North America, also that he was a clone as well, and knew that another clone is coming here with a Latino black-haired boy. But Naruto didn't mention that he looked like an elf, pointy ears and elf-like face. Piper, this is Leo Valdez, son of Hephaestus. The other Naruto beside Leo introduced. Leo, this is Piper McLean, daughter of Aphrodite. The daughter of Aphrodite? Leo said with a bit of disbelief. Piper's eyes twitched when he snorted. I don't really see it. What's that supposed to mean? Piper snaps at him in annoyance. Leo held up his hands in a surrender motion. I meant that you don't look like one of those girls who just cared about makeup and dresses. Leo told her. Don't get me wrong, you have the looks, but not the personality described to me. That's because Piper is one of the few exceptions to that rule. Piper's Naruto said. Piper firmly nodded. The thought of wearing any makeup makes her gag. Honestly, how can girls stand this stuff? The question then popped in Piper's head. So, who is your godly parent Naruto? The two Narutos didn't say anything at first. They merely held out their hands and formed a fireball. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Son of Hephaestus. Champion of Athena. Legacy of Atlas. The two Narutos said, using twin speak. Leo's eyes and Piper's eyes widened at the introduction. Piper, because of the titles he carried, and Leo, because of the fact that Naruto was literally family. So, you're my brother? Leo asked him. For this whole time, ever since he was 11, he was literally living with his brother. Naruto nodded. Yep. And there's also several more brothers and sisters. Naruto said. Leo looked excited at the prospect of meeting them, at the prospect of finding another family. But right now, we need to get one more person. Let's get in the car, we're going to Good High School. Good High. Percy Jackson, son of Poseidon. He has done many things in his demigod life. Wounded Ares and retrieved the bolt at age 12, traveled the sea of monsters at age 13, and held up the sky at age 14. He also made enemies of many monsters and immortals. Naruto met him when he was sent to help the hunters protect Bianca and Naiko. At the first meeting, Naruto gave him a hard punch in the jaws for endangering his friends. The two didn't get along at first, but they slowly began to respect each other. Naruto could see that Percy was going to be a great demigod, and not just in power. But he also selfless, loyal, brave, kind, and smart, even though he doesn't show it. He also has a will that never gives up, no matter the odds. And that's why Naruto trained him to the brink of death, even though he is at home with his mom. From hand-to-hand combat to strategy and Greek history. After Sally heard about Naruto's tutoring abilities, she was glad to have him help Percy with his studies, much to the black hair boy's dismay. But Percy couldn't really complain with the results. He didn't get rusty with sword skills whenever he stayed at home anymore, and got enough skill to match Luke in a sword fight, even with the curse Ares left him. His water abilities improved as well, the same with his strength, and learned to fight without a sword too, which is useful whenever he loses his sword. And even though he's not on par with Athena's children, he knows enough about Greek mythology to not to be called an idiot. As well many other subjects, even math. Right now, his mom is driving him to Good High School, where he is going to go on an orientation tour. Percy thought it was a bad idea to take him to another school, but unfortunately, for the school in him, his mother's boyfriend, Paul, insisted on it. Just relax, Percy. Sally said when they got to the school. Though she didn't sound relaxed. It's only an orientation tour. But try not to. Destroy it. Yes. It's not like I intend to destroy school. Percy said with a bit of annoyance. Percy tried to warn Paul not to take him in Good High School, but he insisted. He looked at the teacher, who is greeting new 9th graders coming in. Then looked at his mom. You haven't told him about me, have you? Sally tapped her fingers on the wheel nervously. I thought we should wait. You know, prepare to tell him. And what would happen if a monster attacks me at the school? I'm sure the orientation will be fine, Percy. It's only one night. Percy rolled his eyes. Mom, knowing my luck, I'll probably be expelled before I even start the school year. Think positive. Tomorrow, you're off to camp. After orientation, you've got your date. It's not a date. Percy protested. I'm just hanging out with Rachel. You're going to movies together. Well, yeah. Just the two of you. Yes. With no parental supervision. Mom. Sally held her hand up in surrender, but Percy can't see she was fighting off a smile. A few months ago, a few days after the winter solstice, Naruto, Percy and Rachel met again. The two of them explain everything to Rachel, from Greek gods to the elemental country. Instead of looking at them like they were crazy, Rachel was relieved to hear that. And a bit angry at Naruto for not telling her in the past. Since that meeting, Percy and Rachel had been hanging out with each other, quickly becoming good friends. "You better get inside, dear," Sally told her son. "I'll see you later." "Okay. Bye, Mom," Percy said. He got out of the car and walked to the school entrance. On the way, he saw Paul greeting a girl with familiar red frizzy hair. When she turned around, Percy saw that it's his friend Rachel Elizabeth Dare. "Rachel?" Percy said in surprise. He didn't know that she was at this school. The red-headed girl turned at the sound of her name and her eyes widened in surprise, but she smiled. "Percy?" Rachel said. She went down the steps before hugging her friend, which he returned. "I didn't know you are going to this school." "I could say the same." Percy responded back, the two ending the hug. "So you go to school here?" Rachel nodded. "Been going here for a couple of years. I can sometime barely stand it with all the obnoxious guys here, but since you're coming to school, I'm guessing that it's going to be more bearable." Percy was confused at the tone she was using at the last part. Before he could say anything, somebody spoke from behind them. "I'm guessing you two know each other." That somebody was Paul Bluffus. Rachel turned around to see the English teacher smiling at the duo. Percy nodded. "We've been friends for a couple of months, ever since we've met at the Hoover Dam." Yeah, that wasn't the best meeting. He still hadn't figured out how he ended friends with Rachel, considering his luck at making mortal friends and her near decapitation by him. Yeah, not the best first meeting. "Well, since the two of you know each other, maybe Rachel can show you to the orientation tour," Paul suggested. Rachel agreed and grabbed Percy's hand before walking him to where the tour was at. Soon, the two ended up in the gym, with several other students were at. Due to how many students there were, Percy and Rachel were at close proximity with each other. Percy blushed a little at the closeness, but didn't say anything. "So what movie do you want to watch after this?" Rachel asked Percy. Percy responded with a shrug. "I really don't know," he told her. "What do you feel like watching?" Rachel hummed, tapping her chin. "I think I want to watch The Incredible Hulk," Rachel answered for him. "I was always a big Marvel fan and I would like to see the movie about the Hulk. I watched Iron Man, X-Men 1, 2 and 3, Spider-Man 1, 2 and 3, and other Marvel films." "Which one is your favorite?" "I think Iron Man." "Yours?" Percy was about to respond when he suddenly stiffened. During the years, he picked up something called a danger sense. A sixth sense most demigods get after a couple of years. Due to how much danger he's been in compared to the average demigod, he picked it up fairly quickly. Rachel looked at Percy in concern when she didn't hear him answer her question. "Percy, what?" She stopped when everyone heard two roars in the gym. All conversation stopped, everyone stunned and afraid. That sounded just like a tiger's roar. What was that?" One of the students asked, with a bit of fear in his voice. His question was answered when suddenly, two black and white tigers burst into the gym hall through the wall. The tigers roared again, the roar echoing in the gym. Several students screamed and ran in several directions. Suddenly, four figures jumped into the walls and landed behind the tigers. One was a brown-haired man with wide dark brown eyes. Another was a pale-faced teenage boy with black hair and black eyes. The third was a girl with strange bright pink hair, green eyes, and a giant forehead. And the last one was a masked man with silver, dark gray eyes and a headband covering one of the eyes. Their most noticeable trait is that they were all wearing ninja outfits. Percy groaned. Why can't one day just be normal? Chapter 5. Team 7 Reunion. Olympus Aphrodite Temple. Aphrodite sighed as she paced around her room. She's been trying to talk to Hephaestus all these months, only for him to avoid her. She tried cornering him, but he surprisingly teleported out of her way in a yellow flash. She tried visiting him in his temple, but he was always busy. Nothing seemed to work. She finally sat on her bed with a sigh. Not only that, but Ares has been bothering her. He's been wanting to have sex, but she didn't want to be with him, especially when he got insistent. She may be the goddess of lust, but she's also love and wanted that in the relationship. But when Naruto knocked some sense into her last year, she saw that Ares only lusted for her. What could she do? That was the question Aphrodite been asking herself. After a few minutes, an idea formed in her head and her eyes lit up. She could ask for help. Maybe ask someone with experience with marriage or knows Hephaestus. But the question is, who? Zeus and Poseidon are automatically out. The two of them aren't exactly faithful, especially Zeus. Ares, Apollo, Hermes, and Dionysus are out as well. She doesn't want to see Ares, Apollo and Hermes never had been married and there's no way she's going to ask a drunk for marriage advice. Hades is usually at the underworld and he's not the kind of person you would want to ask for advice really, except for a few things that fits his domain. Artemis and Athena are virgins, and she doubt the two experienced love in the past, although she sensed the two developed feelings for Naruto. The both of them might know Hephaestus well, but the two of them don't exactly like her. Demeter has never been married either and probably doesn't know Hephaestus that well. Her relationship with Hephaestus is as bad as hers. So that leaves one person to ask for advice. Hestia. At high school. Move. Percy grabbed Rachel by the waist and threw himself and the retreat out of the bench just as the black and white lions charged through the benches. The benches were destroyed, as well as the lions, exploding into black ink as they crashed through the walls. Percy quickly got up and pulled out his cap pen, changing it to Riptide. "Why can't you guys just stay at your country?" Percy complained. "Don't you have other people to fight? And weren't you chasing Naruto?" The black hair man smiled at him, a smile that even the densest person could see was fake. "Because of the growing amount of shinobi in our hospitals, the Hokage decided to capture you as a hostage. As a bargaining chip to get Naruto back to the village." Percy was confused. Why would they want him? You do know that Naruto and I aren't that close, right?" Percy questioned. "I mean, we did get along better now, but we aren't that close." "You were the only one that wasn't protected," the masked man said simply. "And beside, Naruto would save anyone in danger, especially any of his friends. That is just who he is." Percy groaned. "The masked guy is right though. Even though the two of them are different, they are alike as well. One of the similarities is that they would sacrifice their lives for their friends and families." Percy then stood, holding his sword up. The brown hair man moved up to masked man's side. "Boy, you're facing two elite jonin and two chunin. It would be smart to surrender." If any demigod that knew Percy heard that, they would have laughed. Percy Jackson is not one to surrender. "Well, I was trained by one of the best shinobi." Percy shot back. "I'm not going down without a fight. Just a question though, who are you for?" The masked man looked like he smiled. "Well, it would be rude not to give proper introductions. My name is Kakashi Haddock. The pink hair there is Sakura. The brown hair man is Yamato and pale guy is Sai." Percy's eyes widened at the first two introductions. "Wait a minute, so you are part of Naruto's team?" Percy asked. "The copycat ninja and the pink hair banshee. Naruto told me a lot about you too." Sakura grew a vein in her head at the nickname, while Kakashi I smiled. "Really? And what are those things?" Kakashi couldn't help but ask. Percy's sweat dropped a bit. Some of the things Naruto said about them wasn't really what you call good. "Trust me. You don't want to know." Before Kakashi could interrogate him about that, Yamato interrupted. "I'm sorry to interrupt, but we need to capture you. Now." He formed a few hand signs in a quick motion and yelled wood style. Binding technique before several large string of wood erupted from the ground. Percy's eyes widened as they closed in on him before grabbing Rachel bridal style, making the girl blush and started avoiding the bindings. "You can't dodge those bindings forever. And you can't keep at this forever," Percy retorted. True to his words, Yamato had to stop in order to save up his chakra. Percy quickly made a water clone, something that surprised the others, before handing Rachel to the clone. "Take Rachel out of here. Make sure she isn't harmed," Percy said. Before the retreat could protest, the clone burst out of there. Kakashi couldn't help but be impressed. Impressive. Not many could make water clones without their chakra being exhausted. Percy didn't respond to that. He was figuring out how on earth this guy could use a wood attack, something that belonged to Demeter's domain. He thought the gods shut that down, unless. "I know this is a random question, but do you know who is your mother is?" Percy asked, directing the question to Yamato. The man blinked at the random question before answering. "I don't see how that's any of your business, but no, I don't know who my mother is. My father said she disappeared the day I was born." Percy groaned. "Great. A demigod shinobi, a son of Demeter." Percy didn't say anything else. He just charged at them with his sword drawn. Sai scribbled on his scroll and sent out two lions at him, but Percy put them down easily and swung his sword at Kakashi. The man quickly pulled out his kunai and blocked the attack. A swordsman," Kakashi commented while pushing Percy back. "You think you can fight with that sword, Gaki?" Percy brought his sword up and pointed it at Kakashi. "I had it for 3 years. And it helped me through jams for those years." With that, Percy launched himself at Kakashi. He began fighting Kakashi and Sakura with a mixture of sword combat and hand-to-hand combat. During the fight, he had to bring up his shield that was made by Tyson in order to block a powerful punch from Sakura. He slashed his sword at Kakashi, who blocked it with his kunai, but then Percy pulled it down. He blocked a punch from Sakura with his shield and then pushed Sakura while throwing Kakashi behind him with his sword. He ducked under another punch Sakura launched at him and rolled beside her before making a cut through her thigh, making her grunt in pain. Kakashi leapt up and sent a kick at him, but Percy bent down and blocked it with his shield. He quickly threw Kakashi on the ground before the man could get the chance to kick off and was about to stab him through the stomach but had to step back when piece of wood was launched at him. Kakashi smiled. I admit, you are good. Naruto has trained you well to last this long against the four of us. But then his eyes grew mischievous. But now, you have fallen into a trap. Percy was confused about that before he noticed something wet from under him. He looked down to see black ink under him. His eyes widened, but before he could move, the ink suddenly turned into small snakes and wrapped around him, binding him. Percy cried out in shock before he fell down to the ground. Percy grunted as he struggled out of the restraints. Kakashi, along with the rest of them, walked over to the son of Poseidon. Kakashi's eyes smiled. Sorry kid, but we need you to get Naru. Kakashi's eyes suddenly widened and turned to the other. Sakura, grab the boy quick. We need to. Too late. A familiar voice said. A fireball was suddenly launched at all of them, causing the four to jump back to dodge the fire. Percy yelped as the fire nearly hit him. A figure suddenly jumped down beside the bonded Percy and slowly stood up. It was Naruto Uzumaki, and boy does he look pissed. First, you send a group after my stepsister, one of them bluntly stated that he was planning to rape her. Naruto stated, his eyes turning fiery red mixed with stormy gray. Then, you send another group after my half-brother. And now, you send my old team after my friend and apprentice. Kakashi saw the red and gray mixture and knew they were in trouble. Hey Naruto, long time no see. Just out of curiosity, are you also mad about my teaching skills when you were younger? I wasn't until you mentioned it. Oh. Naruto. Yamato said, getting the blonde to turn to him. Can't you consider coming home? The leaf is not going to stop and soon, the other villages are going to find this place. Naruto turned to him, his expression slightly softening. When Sasuke and Kakashi were injured due to fighting Itachi, they needed 2 replacements for Team 7. Yamato and Sai were those replacements, and Naruto respected Yamato better than Kakashi or Jiraiya. Sorry Yamato, but I said I can handle them. I'm not going to abandon my family. Naruto, why can't you just come back? We're just gonna keep doing this. Sakura stated. Naruto turned to her with narrow eyes, his eyes blazing and storming. And why would I listen to the person who had a hand of making my life there miserable there? Naruto growled, causing Sakura to flinch. You thought I forgot about all the punches you gave me? The insults. Especially when you commented about my parents. Sakura flinched even more. She remembered that day. It was that time she began to see what Naruto really was, instead of what she thought he is. It was the day Sasuke went missing, when Naruto was one of the people sent to retrieve Sasuke. She had tried to make him promise not to harm Sasuke, which Naruto responded by saying that he couldn't promise that. They fought for a few seconds until Naruto finally had enough and left to do his mission. Before he left, she said one thing she regretted now. Maybe that's why your parents abandoned you. 'Cause you care about nobody but yourself. It was then that Kakashi brought her to Tsunade for saying that. And the two explained the story of Naruto, telling her about his past. She realized how cruel she has been to Naruto and wallowed in guilt for years. No, I doubt you did. Sakura said. But I know now that it was stupid and cruel to you. Tsunade and Kakashi told me bits of your past to make me realize that. And I'm sorry. Naruto let out a laugh. A cold laugh that caused chills to run through everyone's spine. Sorry. You think sorry is going to make up for it? He stated coldly. When he has a grudge, he holds it tightly. And he rarely has grudges unless someone deserves it. For stating something that wasn't true. For saying I cared for nobody but myself. Sorry Haruno, but I'm not going to accept your fucking apology. Sakura flinched at each sentence, like she had been slapped each time. Tears clouded her eyes at the coldness of Naruto's words. Sai took out his scroll and prepared to draw more of his jutsu. You have to come with us airhead, now. Naruto's eyes twitched at the name. Sai had been using that nickname because of that damn blonde enigma. For the last time. Naruto said as fire formed around his arms. No. Sai sent out several lions, only for Naruto to throw fireballs at them and reducing them to ink puddles. Naruto looked at the tied-up Percy with a blank. Squid head, use your head and think about what you're tied up in. What are yo? Percy then looks at the ink snakes on him and realization hit him. Oh. He mentally got the water out of the canister and formed the water around him, making the ink melt off. Naruto smirked. You're beginning to learn to use that brain of your more. Excellent. Shut up. Naruto chuckled a little before getting serious. Percy, you take on Sai while I take the others. You're not strong enough to handle 2 experienced shinobi, but you can handle 1. Percy nodded and pulled out his sword once again. Yamato sent out wooden string at them, causing Naruto to jump up while Percy rolled to the side. When Naruto got high enough, he moved downward in a fast pace with his one leg forward for a kick. It's also on fire as well. Dynamic entry. Naruto yelled, forcing Team 7 to scatter in order to dodge the fiery attack. Naruto landed with an explosion and a giant hole at the end of it. Kakashi looked a bit impressed. Wow, where did you learn that? I doubt I saw any shinobi do that trick. Naruto got up from the hole and grinned. From my father Kakashi. Naruto answered. The two of them then began fighting in hand-to-hand combat, throwing punches and kicks, as well as blocking and dodging. There were a few students watching all of this in awe, as well as teachers. They also saw the elemental attacks, shocking the lot of them. Unfortunately for the shinobi, jutsu weren't automatically hidden in the mist. Meaning that anyone that was still in the gym was seeing all of this. Some were recording as well. Soon, Sakura joined the fight and Naruto had to harden his skin in order to keep any bones from breaking from Sakura hard punches. It was an ability he learned while he was training, coming from his ancestor, Atlas. After a few minutes, the three pushed back since the fight was going nowhere. You certainly has gotten stronger since a decade ago, Naruto. Kakashi complimented. But unfortunately, we need to take you back no matter what. Yamato, now. The wooden dragon suddenly shot up from behind Naruto and it went towards Naruto, making the watchers yell for Naruto to look out. Naruto didn't even hesitate. He turned around, forming a molten Rasengan and destroying the dragon with one hit. Sakura, Kakashi, Yamato, and the mortals here look at Naruto with wide eyes. Why are we fighting him again? Kakashi and Yamato thought. Sai vs Percy. Percy dodged two lions sent by Sai before making two ice tridents and throwing it at Sai. Like Percy, Sai dodged those before drawing more beasts. Percy used this chance to charge at Sai with his sword drawn. Ninja art. Super beast imitation. Sai yelled as several beasts came out of the scroll. Percy either cut through the beasts or block any that got too close with his shield before sending a slash at Sai. Sai responded by taking out a kunai and blocking the attack. The two began fighting one another in close combat, trying to outdo the other. Slowly, as losing the fight. He may be fairly skilled at Taijutsu, but Percy was a natural swordsman and been trained in hand-to-hand combat to boot. Percy then ducked at a roundhouse kick before finding an opening and cut his leg. Sai grunted as he jumped back, holding his bleeding side. The boy is strong. Sai thought as he held the bleeding leg. Danzo-sama would want this boy in his ranks. He then started drawing up the snake binding technique in order to capture Percy, but then his body stopped moving. Sai eyes widened at that before his hand slowly went down and dropped his ink and scroll. Percy was holding his hand out with a smirk. Funny thing about the body is that there is 60% of water in adult guys. Meaning I can control your body if I could get a cut on you. He bent his arm back before pushing it forward, sending Sai to propel in the bleachers. Percy grinned. At times like this that loves being the son of Poseidon. Yamato saw the attack, making his eyes widen. Sakura, take down the boy. Now. Sakura didn't question it since she saw the attack as well and ran at him with her fist cocked up for a punch. Percy saw this and used his shield to block the attack. Unfortunately, he didn't know how strong Sakura actually was and thrown back a few feet from where he was, rolling on the ground. Percy groaned. How did that girl get that much strength? Sakura cracked her knuckles, glaring at the boy. This is for calling me a banshee. Cherry blossom impact. Percy attempted to move up to dodge, but knew that it would be too late. Before the attack could though, Naruto appear in front of Naruto and block the punch while behind them, the ground tore up and the wall behind them was destroyed. Percy idly wondered how he wasn't unconscious right now. Naruto glared at her. Attacking my friend. Really? Did you forget the last person who did that? If you did, then let me remind you. Sakura's eyes widened, along with Percy, as Naruto started glowing red. Percy scrambled away from the clone bomb and Sakura tried pulling her fist to get away, but the clone had a vice grip. The clone then exploded, propelling Sakura to the two jonin and landing on her back, barely conscious. She groaned as she stood up, severely hurt from the attack. I think it's time for a tactical retreat, don't you? Definitely. Yamato responded. There is no way they could fight Naruto. He grew stronger, a lot stronger, from those 11 years ago. The two quickly gathered their fallen comrades and teleported out while Naruto reappeared in front of Percy, causing the boy yelp and fall on his butt. Don't do that. Do what? Naruto said innocently. Percy glared at him, making Naruto laugh. Kidding. Though, I will make no promises. By the way, good job with the fight with Sai. Percy lost his glare and smiled slightly at the praise. I figure if I can get a cut on him, I could use the water in the body to push him back. Excellent. Naruto said with a nod. Using your head and your guts. You're getting stronger and stronger, Percy grinned at that. This is what receiving praise from an older sibling is like for the ones with siblings. They then noticed remaining students and teachers here, watching them, with mouth agapes. One of those teachers was Paul Bloffus, looking at Percy with a stunned look. Whoops. Naruto said, laughing awkwardly and scratching the back of his head while Percy sweat dropped at the sight of the students and teachers. Guess we had witnesses. Guess it's time to go. With that, he grabbed Percy and fire teleport them out of there. Tomorrow, those two will be all over the internet. Chapter 6. The Red Knights. Leaf Village. 7 shinobi dead. 2 unconscious. 1 missing. 2 unharmed. And none of the targets. That was the thing Tsunade is seeing right now. Naruto was there at every place. Kakashi said with a grimace. Made some kind of lava clone that lasted longer than regular shadow clones and beaten all 3 groups quite easily. Tsunade sighed at this. We'll need a new plan then. Tsunade sighed. Kakashi and Yamato shared a look of worry, wondering if they should say it. Lady Tsunade, Kakashi said cautiously, like trying to talk to a wild dog. Should we send out any more shinobi to the US? Many of the shinobi are in the hospital and some are dead. Tsunade rubbed her forehead in frustration. I know the Kakashi, but we need to get Naruto. 1. He is still a villager of the Hidden Leaf. 2. The other villages are after him. And 3. It's so he can appease the other villages on our side and the countries. We know that, Yamato spoke up. But we can't exactly force Naruto to calm down the villages, the countries, and the younger generations. It would also make us look like kidnappers if we tried to bring him back by force or blackmail. Kakashi continued. And Naruto seems to be doing fine on his own. May I remind you of the body pile in the hospitals and the graves. Add to the fact if we can't use our ninjutsu or jinjutsu, then the other villages sure can't. That would put any shinobi in a major disadvantage. Tsunade sighed, rubbing her head. They're right though. Naruto seems to be handling himself well enough there. And forcing him back isn't really going to help them gain their allies back. Build him back here. The 3 shinobi turned to see Danzo standing at the door. Have his closest people go to the US and have them convince him to come back. I doubt that he wouldn't listen to his precious people. Tsunade scowled at the sight of him and stood up, glaring at him. And why would I do that? I'm not going to resort to manipulation to get him back. You already resorted to kidnapping, why not guilt? Danzo retorted, staring back at her without flinching. And if you don't, then I will. The younger generation doesn't need much convincing to get you out of office due to their rebellion against the older generation, and I can convince the older generation to do it, saying that you are doing a horrible job protecting this village. I can have all the Anbu go get Naruto and kill anyone in their path. Either way, the Jinchuriki is coming back in our grasp. Tsunade gritted his teeth. She didn't really have a choice in the matter, and if she refused, he might turn Naruto into a rude Anbu if he became Hokage. Damn you. Damn you to hell. Tsunade hissed. Danzo merely smirked. This village will have its weapon back, no matter what the cost. None of them noticed an owl flying off in the distance. But hi. After the fight with the shinobi, Naruto got Percy in the car with Leo, Piper, and Rachel, who was found by a clone of Naruto. As they drove, he's been telling Piper, Leo, and Rachel about his life outside the United States. Piper's eyes were as wide as a dinner plate's after he finished his story. Greek stories are one thing, but a hidden continent. And ninjas who can use superpowers. I know. Leo muttered, not believing it himself. I'm surprised none of our brains are fried. Although he is taking it easier than Piper is, considering that he knew a little bit about Naruto and Camp Half-Blood before all of this. Rachel, however, was taking this much better than the other two. She has been seeing crazy stuff ever since she was a kid, so it was a relief to hear the Greek mythology was real. And while Naruto being from a hidden continent is surprising, she is still taking much better. I gained some crazy friends. Rachel said, shaking her head. Rachel then looked at Percy, who is spinning his pen around with his finger. By the way, where did you learn that clone trick? Percy pointed his pen at the person in the front seat. Oh, that explains a lot. Rachel commented. She then had a smirk on her face. So, can those last long? Percy thought about it for a minute. Against minor injuries and cuts. Yeah, they can last against those. Against mild to major injuries as well as major pain. No. Rachel smirked even more. Oh, the things Percy can do with that trick. Naruto heard the conversation and shook his head. He regretted ever taking out the Icha book out of his bag. How did that pervy sage sneak that inside anyway, and how did he not notice it for years? He wished he did though, because when he tried to get rid of it that day, Rachel ended up finding it. And she turned into a mild pervert. He felt bad for Percy for when Rachel sinks her claws in him. So, we're heading to camp? Leo asked from the seat. Naruto nodded. Hopefully, we won't get any more Hop. Naruto cried out in shock as he tried to steady the car, a tire damaged. In the back, the other 4 cried out and held on to something to keep them steady. Finally, Naruto managed to stop it and kept his lunch in the process, along with the others. But Percy breathed, clutching his pen tightly. Just happened. Naruto looked around outside of the car to see if anything is there. Don't know. We better get out though and check the tires. Before he did though, he pressed a seal on his arms, getting 3 weapons out. One was a giant bronze long-handled hammer with a metal head on top. The other was a long bronze chain whip with a dark metal dart. And the last is 2 bronze stun batons. Leo, this is yours. Naruto said, giving the hammer to Leo. This is Yakido Hama, Wrath Hammer. Only finger imprinted, so only you and me can lift it. Not only does it pack a punch, but it can heat up to the point of melting a man's face at your will. Leo grabbed the hammer as he looked at it with undisguised excitement. Awesome. Leo exclaimed with stars in his eyes. And I can also carry it easily. It may feel light, but it can still pack a wallop punch. Naruto said with a smirk. He then turned to the daughter of Aphrodite. And Piper, this is for you. He held the chain whip. This is Mamashi, Viper. This is a special chain whip as the tip can transform from a metal head to a metal ball. The metal head is coated with a toxic that can paralysis a body part by one cut. This should suit you, considering your training with the chain whip. Piper grabbed the chain as she looked at it in awe. A couple of years ago, she, Naruto, and her dad went to a parade. During that time, she saw someone performing flawless moves with a chain whip, something she wanted to know. So when she begged Naruto to teach her that, she practiced for years. She shivered a bit when she thought about the training, but ignored it. Thank you Naruto. Piper said with a huge smile. Naruto smiled back before turning to Rachel, who had an eager grin on her face. And last, but not least, Rachel Elizabeth Dare. Naruto said before showing her the 2 stun batons. These are Sanda and Raitenengu, Thunder and Lightning. These don't seem like much, but when you press the buttons on the bottom of the hilt, they will be encased with electricity that can knock a person unconscious in the lowest power. Rachel grabbed the 2 handles and pressed the buttons on the bottom, getting them to be encased with electricity like Naruto explained. She grinned. Have you been planning to give these to us? Maybe, maybe not. Naruto said, his face betraying nothing. Now let's go and see what popped that tire. It had to be something very sharp to damage these things and also had to be aimed well. The group slowly got out of the car, weary and cautious. Naruto slowly walked around the car while the group was spread out. Naruto then noticed a glow red from the tire. Huh? He muttered before looking closely at the broken tire. His eyes widened when he saw what's the item is. Red lyrium. Shit. Naruto muttered before he stood up and looked at the others. Everyone stay on your guard. There are dangerous enemies in the area. Suddenly, red crystals shot out of the trees and directly at Percy. The son of Poseidon's eyes widened before turning on his shield on his wrist and blocked the crystals. Several knights came out of trees in different directions. Some also dug out of the road with crossbows pointed at them. Naruto, Piper, Leo, Rachel and Percy couldn't help but notice something that made the 5 out of 6 them pale, while Naruto scowled. Each of them had red lyrium attached on them, from a few sticking out of their armor to an array of lyrium sticking out of their back. All of them are glowing red with a slightly crazed look on their eyes. Red Templars. Naruto growled, grabbing Kasai and changing it to an axe. Guys, do not hold back. Aim to kill these guys. These aren't men, these are turned monsters. Leo, Rachel and Piper are surprised by the severe tone in his voice, but they gain their composure. They heard that they aren't men and seeing their appearances, it's not that hard to believe. All of the Red Templars charged at them, while the few with crossbows or bows stayed back. Naruto took down any that came at him with several complicated swings from his axe, plus some fireballs. Whenever they get hit with a major cut, they dissolved into red crystals. It was the same for the others. Leo and Piper were working together, side by side as they took down their own group. Like Naruto, Leo was taking down the Templars with the swings of his hammer and fireballs, while Piper used several swinging techniques to take down the ones on her front and on their sides. Leo occasionally set out fireballs at the archers. Meanwhile, Rachel and Percy were working with each other as well. Percy was slashing his sword around at the Templars non-stop, as well as blocking any arrow shots, while Rachel was taking them down with single blows in the head by her stun baton. Percy was also helping Leo in taking down archers by sending out ice kunai from his canteen. Soon, the fight started dwindling down, and the remaining Templars were forced to retreat. After the last one was either dead or had run away, 4 of the youngest collapsed on the ground. Man, Leo said, breathing heavily. I almost thought those guys were endless. The others nodded in agreement. Naruto, however, only looked winded compared to the others. He grinned at them. Well, you guys did well for your first time in a fight. He was talking to Leo, Piper and Rachel. Though we need to work on stamina. The group we just faced was just a small one and a bigger group would have overwhelmed you. Leo's eyes popped open, along with Piper, Rachel and Percy. That was small. Rachel exclaimed, voicing everyone's thoughts. Naruto chuckled. And the weakest of the Red Templars. Naruto added in. There are several evolutions are Red Templars. That was the beginning stage when they barely digested the lyrium. What is lyrium anyway? Piper asked, very confused. And what exactly are the Red Templars? Why do they have that power? Naruto sighed, deciding to start from the beginning of the Templars' history. So he did, telling them about the mage and demigod hunters. How they were from, the wars they fought, the war between mages and Templars, and how they started digesting lyrium. He also explained about lyrium, red lyrium, and the effects of both of them, also why they disappeared. Piper is sitting on the rock, digesting everything. First Greek myths, then ninjas, and now knights. She muttered. She never thought her day would come out like this. You okay, beauty queen? Leo asked, seeing the look of disbelief on her face. Piper's eyes snapped up to him when she heard the nickname. Beauty queen. Hey, you are very hot and look like those beauty pageant girls, the name suits ya. Leo replied with a grin, ignoring the glare she gave him. Naruto shook his head at Leo's antics before speaking up. Well, we better start walking from here. Naruto told them. The way to camp is not long from here and the longer we stay, the more likely a monster will attack. 4 demigods, one of them being a son of Poseidon, makes a strong scent for them to follow. Percy immediately nodded in agreement, not wanting to be caught by any monsters, while Piper and Leo looked confused. Scent. The monsters can smell our godly blood. Naruto and Percy chorused together, like they have said it several times. Piper and Leo didn't question anymore and merely followed the two, along with Rachel. Like them, they were not eager to face any monsters anytime soon. Akatsuki hideout. It's been months since the Akatsuki allied with Kronos. Because of that alliance, the Titans gave the group of a bit of their immortal blood in order to let them use their abilities outside of the elemental country. It was an extreme boon to ally with the Titan, but so far, the only chance they had to use that boon was when they sent Deidara and Sasori to capture Naruto Namikaze. And the two ended up dead. Now, they were just waiting. I was wondering when you would show up. Pain, the seemingly leader of the Akatsuki, spoke. Behind him, an orange-masked shinobi appeared behind him. Most of the Akatsuki members think he's Tobi, a happy-go-lucky but skilled Akatsuki that annoyed most of them. But in reality, it was Madara Uchiha, the true person leading the organization. Zetsu was reporting to me about the Kronos army. Madara replied. I'll tell you about that later. What did you find out about Kronos' plan? Kronos is planning to use Sasuke's body as a host. Pain told him. He'll have the medical shinobi, Kabuto, awaken him and take over Sasuke's body as his own. He's also having him go to the underworld to bathe in the river Styx to gain indestructible skin. Madara thought about what Pain told him. He read up on Greek history and knew that he needed to stop him. Not only is he planning to enslave everyone, but he will also kill the Akatsuki as well, and Kronos' plans clashes with his own. If he takes a physical form, there will be a chance that he would ruin his goals. But maybe if he could merge Sasuke and Kronos. I might just get a useful pawn. Madara murmured, he then looked at Pain. Okay, now I'll tell you what I know about his army. It seems that in order to replace the demigod army he lost, he recruiting Templars and you know about the shinobi in the sound. He's also planning to recruit the Rock, Waterfall, and Cloud Village as well, with promises of giving them their Jinchurikis back. Pain took a moment to digest what he'd been told. So what is the plan? We sabotage the ritual into making Sasuke's our puppet. Madara told him. And then we will destroy Naruto Uzumaki, the Olympians, and their children. With them gone, no one will get in our way. Underworld. Greek mythology, the Dragon Age, Naruto's history. Those are several things Sasuke had to study. Not only that, but he'd been trained by the sound ninjas that survived and loyal to Kabuto. From Taijutsu to several ninjutsu, Sasuke has learned things he can't possibly imagine learning back at the Leaf Village. He also learned several things about Naruto. Like Kronos has said, knowledge of your allies and enemies makes you more powerful, and researching how powerful Naruto is now prepares him for when he fights Naruto. Though he couldn't help but notice the number of friends he got, particularly all of the female friends. Maybe when he destroys his home, he can take them as his slaves, just to spite Namikaze. But right now, he's on a mission. Kronos told him that he can be indestructible by bathing in the river Styx, make his skin like iron. There would only be one vulnerable spot and he can choose who he can tell. Sasuke smirked. The power to be indestructible, to only have one spot that would hurt him, is something that most would give anything to have. He looked at the river in front of him, ready for him. Naruto, better prepared. Cause he will kill him and all of his family, just like his died. Chapter 7 Fear of Dogs. Half-blood. The walk wasn't long for the 4 demigods and 1 mortal. They soon hiked up the crest of the hill and saw the guardian dragon, Peleus. What the hell? Leo exclaimed as he, Piper, and Rachel jumped back in shock at the sight of dragon. Percy and Naruto hid a smile at the reactions of the two. Yeah, that's Peleus. Our guardian dragon. Naruto told them, still holding back a smile. He is here to guard the golden fleece, which is used to strengthen the border around the camp. The two girls and the Latino boy looked confused. Okay, I know about the golden fleece, but not about the border. Piper looked at him. Naruto chuckled sheepishly. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. He turned to Percy. Hey Percy, how about you go tell them? I'm gonna go report to Chiron about the shinobi attacking us and see if Callie's got anything from the shinobi I captured. Sure thing. Percy said with a nod. With that, Naruto disappeared in a flash, making Piper, Leo, and Rachel drop their mouths in shock. He can teleport. Piper stated. It wasn't a question about it, since she clearly saw it. After a few seconds, Leo lost his shocked look and his eyes shined in awe. S got a very awesome brother. The big house. 3 groups of shinobi, trying to kidnap our demigods. Chiron muttered, shaking his head in disbelief. First it was Naruto, now it was 3 demigods, one of them part of the Great Prophecy. Why? Naruto sighed. That's what I'm going to figure out. I sent one of the shinobi to the barracks for Callie to interrogate. She should be done by now or soon. But we also got other problems. One not so big and one really big. Chiron nodded, waiting for Naruto to speak. Instead of speaking, Naruto pulls out a laptop. He designed several electronics to work with demigods without ringing the dinner bell for monsters and showed him a video on YouTube. Chiron paled when he saw Naruto and Percy fighting a bunch of shinobi. Zeus and all of the Olympians. Chiron cursed in Greek. Mortals saw Naruto and Percy fight, powers and anything. How come the mist didn't change that? Naruto shrugged. The mist doesn't work for shinobi. Technically, even though all of us have at least a little of Titan blood in us, none of us are really part of Greek or Roman myths. Shinobi fighting is technically normal in the hidden continent. Chiron has a bad feeling about the next news. And what about the next news? Naruto has a grim face that didn't make Chiron feel any better. The Red Templars are here. And probably with Chrono's army. Chiron froze. And he started cursing out every single obscenity known to mortals and immortals. Finally, after a few minutes, he finally calmed down and leaned his hand on the table. He was silent for 2 minutes. Then asked, how do you know that the Red Templars are here? Percy, the new campers I brought and I fought with them. Naruto told them, crossing his arms and leaning back. Minor ones, who rarely consumed any red lyrium. I'm betting that Chronos is saving up the stronger ones for the war that is to come. Chiron nodded to that. Do you think you can locate them? Chiron asked him, only getting a shake of the head by Naruto. I need months to do that and we're already trying to uncover another plot. Naruto said. Until we find out what Chronos is planning now, I can't start tracking down the Templars or their lyrium reserves. Chiron nodded mournfully to that. I see. Chiron stated before looking straight at Naruto. Then we better find out soon. And prepare for anything. Naruto nodded. Naruto went the entrance of the main room. Before he left, he stopped to tell Chiron something. We will have a lot to do, Chiron. We'll probably need to send more than one group of demigods for a quest this year. With that, he left, leaving Chiron to ponder on what he said. Barracks. So what did you find out, Callie? Naruto asked, leaning on the wall of the barracks. After talking to Chiron, Naruto immediately went to the barracks to see what Callie had found out. Callie shrugged. Nothing much. Just the usual things happening in that village of yours. And also, the reason that they tried to kidnap Percy and the 2 new demigods is because they tried to use them as blackmail. Naruto scowled heavily at that. Tsuneda's willing is using blackmail to get him back to the village. He knows that ninjas use any way possible to complete a mission, but messing with any of his friends is no-no. If this keeps up, I'm going to that village and giving them a piece of my mind. Naruto growled, his eyes glowing red a bit. Callie stepped back a bit at the look of anger in Naruto's eyes, but recomposed herself. So, what we should do with him? The daughter of Dionysus pointed at the shinobi in a cell, who looked beaten up and bloodied. Naruto's eyes had a glint in it that caused Callie to shiver a bit. We make sure to give the village a message. Naruto said darkly. Use your best illusions and traumatize him. I want to show the leaf I mean business and giving them the heads of the defeated shinobi isn't going to stop them. Gods know he tried that several times already. Callie looked like Christmas came early for her and eagerly went to wake the man for the illusion. While she was doing that, Naruto walked out of the barracks and outside to check on his friends and siblings. He quickly went to Aphrodite's cabin to check on little Lacey and Selena. He was about to knock on their door when he heard swords clashing. He looked to see Percy's sword, Riptide, clashing against a bronze blade from Quintus, the temporary swordsmanship trainer and his hellhound, Mrs. O'Leary. Naruto sighed, shaking his head. Forgot that Squid Head doesn't know about Mrs. O'Leary. He used fire teleportation and stood between the two as they were about to strike each other. Using his new abilities, he stopped the swords from hitting him and, with a crack of the air, pushed the two away from each other and on their backs. Oh. Percy groaned, rubbing his head. I think I hit my head. Suck it up, squid head, you've felt worse. Naruto retorted, remembering the adventures Annabeth told him about. Poisoned by a chimera, his chest scratched deeply by a hellhound, holding up the sky. Yeah, the kid felt more pain more than any other demigod. He then looked at Quintus with disapproval. Quintus, you know you're not supposed to fight campers out of activities. Sorry about that, Naruto. Quintus said, slowly getting up from his place on the ground. But it seemed the boy was about to kill Mrs. O'Leary. Mrs. O'Leary? Naruto pointed at the dog, who looked around when her name was called. The hellhound you were about to kill is Quintus's pet. Forgot to tell you about that, so that's my bad. A hellhound for a pet. Percy mumbled in wonder while Quintus and Mrs. O'Leary walked away. Never thought I'd see the day. Never thought Greek mythology would be real, either. And now here we are. Percy didn't see anything wrong about that, knowing that's true. So Naruto changed conversation. So where are Leo and Piper, along with Rachel? Piper and Leo both got claimed when I showed them around, Leo in Hephaestus' cabin, while Piper is at Aphrodite cabin. Percy told him while Naruto nodded. He knew those two were going to get claimed by his dad and Aphrodite, just didn't know that it would be so soon. As for Rachel, well. Naruto suddenly heard a whimper a few feet away from him. He looked up and towards the direction of the whimper to see Rachel hanging on a tree. Naruto stifled his laughter. Let me guess, she saw the hellhound. Naruto said, still stifling his laughter. Percy nodded, confused and concerned for Rachel. Rachel whimpered again, slowly opening one eye. Is it gone? Is it? It's gone, Rachel. Percy called out since Naruto couldn't say anything with his laughter. Rachel sighed in relief before getting down and walking towards the two boys. Naruto managed to contain his laughter, but has a grin on his face. You still afraid of dogs, Rachel? Shut up. Rachel replied with a pout, though Naruto merely grinned. Percy looked from Naruto to Rachel before speaking. Okay, why is Rachel so afraid of dogs? Percy asked in confusion. Her fear looks as bad as Annabeth's or any Athena cabin members' fear of spiders or Thalia's fear of heights. Naruto snickered while Rachel shivered at the memory. A few years ago, I made a bet with Rachel. If she could cover her whole body, clothes and all, with peanut butter, I would take her anywhere she wants. She took the bet and completely covered herself with peanut butter outside of her house. Naruto grinned when he saw the shocked look on Percy's face. When I was about to take her back in the house, a pack of small dogs melted and got out of the alley. When Rachel saw a bunch, she got extremely scared and ran. She got even more scared when the dogs started surrounding her and licking her from all over. Thus, started the fear of dogs. Rachel shivered at the memory while Percy tried not to laugh. Rachel covered herself with peanut butter just to win a bet. Rachel saw him stifling his laughter and glared at him. It's not funny. I'm sorry, but it is. Percy said between his covered laughter. I hope that fear will react when you see Mrs. O'Leary every single time. She's gonna be here for a while. Rachel paled even more and whimpered before latching onto Percy's arm. Immediately, the boy stopped laughing and blushed at the close proximity. Naruto grinned at the two, already telling that the two liked each other. Before he could say anything, he saw Chiron galloping towards them. Naruto looked up at the centaur. Hey Chiron. Is there something you need? I need both you and Percy to come with me, Naruto. Chiron said, but then noticed Rachel with the two males. He was about to ask when Naruto gave him a look that says ask later. Chiron continued. Grover is in a bit of a tight spot. What do you mean? Percy asked, immediately worried for his friend. What happened? Chiron held his hand in a placating manner. He's not in any physical danger. He's only having a meeting with the Council of Cloven Elders. He explained to them. He needs his friends to give him support. Bianca, Annabeth, Thalia and Clarice are already there, so that only leaves you two. Then lead the way, Chiron. Naruto said, with Percy agreeing, while Rachel was staring at awe of the centaur. While the four walked, Rachel started whispering to them. Is that Chiron, the centaur trainer? Yep, that is the one. This camp is getting more and more stranger. You'll get used to it. Naruto and Percy said simultaneously. Zeus knows they did. Cloven meeting. Naruto really want to skin certain goats right now. Then tie them up, burn them, and then feed them to the Canadians, Laestrygonians. Naruto and Percy managed to join up in time with Annabeth, Clarice, Bianca, and Grover's new girlfriend, Juniper. Currently, Juniper was in tears right now, while Annabeth and Bianca were doing their best to comfort her. After Naruto told Chiron about Rachel, he brought her to the big house to tell her about camp. Percy stared at the girl, wondering who she was. Naruto, taking pity at the boy's confusion, leaned into the boy. That's Grover's girlfriend, Juniper. A tree nymph. Grover has a girlfriend. Percy whispered loudly and surprised. Naruto nodded. A couple of things had happened since you left camp. I'll tell you about them later. Naruto whispered back. Percy nodded before they heard the cloven leader bang the gavel. And thus started Naruto resisting turning the goats into rugs. Those old goats refused to listen to Grover, not believing that the guy sensed Pan, and then only gave Grover a week to find Pan, with no resources. And if he fails, he would have to surrender his searcher's license. When the cloven elders left, Naruto and the others moved up to Grover's side, who was standing at his spot with a stunned look on his face. "Oh, Grover," Juniper cried, hugging her shell-shocked boyfriend. "Please, speak to me." "Hang on." Naruto sighed, getting behind the satyr. "Step back a bit, Juniper." The nymph did, and when she did, Naruto slapped Grover upside the head. "Ow." Grover cried out, holding the back of his head. He gave Naruto the stinky eye. "You didn't have to hit so hard." Naruto shrugged. "Just had to be sure you were out of it. You froze when the council said you have a week to find Pan or you would surrender your searcher's license." When Naruto said that, Grover went into his next state. Panic mode. "Oh man, what am I going to do? I can't find Pan in only a week. I should give up no." "Thalia, you slap him this time." Naruto said tiredly, pinched the bridge of his nose. "Seriously, the satyr panics way too much." Thalia nodded and slapped Grover upside the head, getting him out of his panic state. Clarice then spoke up. "Well, there is one option that we can do to speed up the process." Everyone, except Percy, know what option she's talking about. And Juniper doesn't like it. "No, no," Juniper said, gripping Grover's arm. The satyr looks a bit shaken. "I won't let you, Grover." "It may be the only way to find him quickly, Juniper," Naruto said, leaning on a tree. The nymph glared at him, but he ignored it. Pan can be anywhere in the country, and those fat old goats only gave Grover a week to find him. He'll need to travel there in order to find Pan. Grover gulped a little. "I'll have to think about it. But even with that, we don't know where to look." Guys," Percy spoke up, causing heads to turn to him. "What are you talking about? Travel where?" Naruto wondered if anyone tells him anything. "We'll tell you later, Squidhead," Naruto said while Percy glowered at him for the nickname. "Right now, we all better get to our cabins. Inspections are starting and Selena is in charge of it this time." Immediately, Percy paled and rushed to his cabin like it was on fire, getting the others to chuckle. "I wonder how messy his room is," Annabeth said in amusement. "Probably as messy as Hermes' cabin," Thalia said with equal amusement. "Then again, maybe Tyson cleaned up the place." "Maybe," Bianca added in. When Bianca and Thalia first met the Cyclops, the two freaked out. Bianca pulled out her bow while Thalia got out her spear. Luckily, Naruto managed to stop them and explain to them about what Tyson was doing at camp. It took a while for Thalia to warm up to the Cyclops, but after a stern talk from Naruto, she managed to become friends with him. While the others began walking to their cabins, Naruto walked up to Bianca. "How are you doing, Bianca?" Naruto asked in concern. Bianca knew what he was talking about. Ever since that mission to capture the son of Hecate, she couldn't be near any other guy without flinching, except for Naruto. She's been doing better, but still felt uncomfortable with other guys at camp. Especially the Aphrodite boys. "I'm getting better, but I still feel uncomfortable with guys. Especially when I'm alone with them," Bianca told him. "The only guys I'm comfortable being with are Chiron, you, and Percy. Because I know none of you are bad." Naruto gave her a comforting smile before wrapping his arms around her shoulder. Bianca blushed at the contact, but didn't say anything. "Just know that I'm here for you. For anything, okay?" Bianca gave Naruto a shy smile. "I will thank you, Naruto." She is glad the blonde found her and Naiko all those years ago. And glad he trained her since the day she discovered she's a demigod. Hephaestus cabins. Naruto separated from his friends and went back to his cabin. When he got in, he saw his siblings cleaning up their workstations while Charles was talking to Leo about the cabin and camp itself. Charles and Leo turned to the door when they heard Naruto enter. "Naruto, you're back," Charles said, smiling at his older brother. "I was just telling Leo about the workshops here." Naruto nodded, going his workshops and putting up his weapons. "Glad to hear," Naruto told him, organizing his stuff. "So what do you think of the place, Leo?" "It's awesome," Leo exclaimed, pumping his fist. "The workshops, the weapons and all the hot ladies here. And the best part is that I can stay here all year long." Naruto chuckled. He had a feeling Leo would love this place, especially with all the female demigods here. Naruto got to admit, all of the demigoddesses were very pretty and well developed, even Ares' daughters. "Glad you like the camp," Naruto said, closing up the workstations. At his personal workshop were his pistol and rifle, with bronze and imperial gold bullets respectively, his stealth chest plate, his elemental hilt, his transforming weapon Kasai, his endless bag of Greek fire grenades, and some brand new weapons. A bronze trident for Percy, something that could help him easily control the water when need to. A shadow bow for Bianca, which could summon Stygian iron arrows from the shadows when you pull it. He had some helps from Hades. A pair of dual knives for Selena, made of the Nemean lion's claws so it could cut through anything. A full Greek armor made of the lion's fur coat, something that Claris would like. And finally, the cacutes. 4 spiked rings for each hand and also spiked wrists. Usually, they are used to subdued enemies, but Naruto spiced it up with Layden's poison he saved up. They can transform into regular rings and wristbands, so when he somehow loses his weapons, he can use these to surprise his enemies. As he closed up his workstation, a knock came from the cabin door. Naruto quickly got to the door to see Selena standing there with a clipboard in her hands. She looked around the room before nodding approvingly. Clean and tidy, just as usual. Naruto leaned back in his bed and smirked at her, causing her to blush a little. We're Hephaestus kids, what do you expect? We are in charge of making and organizing weapons, so we have to be tidy with our workstations and personal things. She nodded, knowing that Naruto had a point. Well, I should go check the other cabins. Selena said, but before she closed the door, she turned to Naruto. And Naruto, are we going to check how my skills are? Naruto gave her a thumbs up to that. You know it. And I got some new weapons for you, so be prepared to receive it. Selena beamed at him before closing the door. Naruto then leaned back on his pillow. I'm going to take a nap before dinner. Let me know when the horn is sounded. Charles nodded to him right as Naruto went to sleep. Medalist giggled as she checked over her workstation. He must have had a busy day. No doubt about that, considering he's out like a light. Charles responded. He then noticed Leo staring at the door with a dumb expression on his face. Leo, you okay bud? Sheshot. Many of the siblings had to stifle their chuckles at Leo's response, including Bakandorf. Sorry bro, but someone else grabbed her heart. Any other guy that tried to date her ended up disappointed when she refused. Really? Leo asked, getting out of his stupor. Who's the lucky guy then? Charles flicked his head towards a sleeping Naruto, making Leo drop his head. I should have known. Blondie always get the chicks. Nissa laughed. No doubt about that, almost every girl here, outside of this cabin and doesn't have a boyfriend, has a crush on him. Nissa stated, getting Leo's mouth to drop in disbelief. Not only that, but he has girls that genuinely have feelings for him, one of the more popular girls here at camp. Why you're serious? Leo stuttered, looking at Naruto. He narrowed his eyes at the whiskered blonde. Maybe Naruto could help get a girl. He heard another of his siblings speak up. Annabeth is one of those girls, a daughter of Athena. The others are Thalia, daughter of Zeus. Claris, daughter of Ares. And Bianca, daughters of Hades. All of them incredibly skilled and also really beautiful. We also heard rumors that the 3 virgin goddesses and the hunter of Artemis also have feelings for him. Another said. Leo's mouth eventually got to the ground at the news. Damn. Leo said, after a minute. Blondie got some luck. No doubt. Charles replied. As all of them talked, none of them knew that Naruto was only half asleep. And that he heard everything from them. And that's the end. I hope you guys like the chapter. And what do you think of the last bit? Do you think it was unnecessary? And about adding more romantic, I'm not gonna try to squeeze it in. Just going to add some in when it felt needed so it won't seem forced. Also, I read the reviews about Hera Naruto. Looks like most of you wants Hera while only voiced their dislikes. I might do it if I can fit it in without being forced. And there will always be flames, no matter what readers do, so I'm not going to let it bother me much. Most of you seem to like my story and for those that don't, well, what are you doing here then? Also, here is the sneak peek on one of my future Walking Dead fanfic. Please give me your opinion on the reviews and give any suggestions if you want. S1 Episode 1. So you're going to see the girl's family now? Rick looked at his partner and best friend, Shane Walsh, when he heard him speak. He knew he was talking about Carl's babysitter and his girlfriend Beth. Yeah. She's gonna introduce me and Carl to them at the weekend. Wonder why she didn't introduce you sooner, after months of dating. Probably because I'm a 32-year-old dating an 18-year-old girl. Most likely. Shane responded with a chuckle. The two then sat in a comfortable silence, eating their lunch in the police cars. Rick Grimes and Shane Walsh were police officers, partners, and best friends. They joined the police when they were in their 20s and been best friends since high school. The two are different in personality, Rick being a calm and think things through guy, while Shane is a hothead and goes with his feelings, but even with their different personalities, they are like brothers to each other. Recently, Rick has been dating a girl named Beth Green. A blonde farmer girl with blue eyes. It started when Rick needed a nanny for his son, Carl, for when he's at work and when his ex-wife, Lori, is unavailable. She was living at her aunt's farm while going to a local college, looking for a job. Rick needed a nanny for Carl whenever he's at work, so when Beth found out about the job, she took it. A few weeks later, the two started dating. They sat in silence for a few minutes before Shane spoke. Did you have another confrontation? With Lori? Rick sighed at the question. He divorced Lori a year after he met Beth and 2 years now. They divorced, they argued, well, Lori yells at him while Rick takes it so much that it wasn't healthy, and after a while, Rick knew that they couldn't continue their marriage even if he tries so hard to be reasonable with her. They agreed for Rick to be the main caretaker for Carl while she has him on weekends, but recently, they've been arguing about Beth. She still doesn't accept the fact that I'm dating Beth. Rick told him. I try to be reasonable, but every time I do, she just gets angrier. She thinks that it will affect Carl in a bad way, even though he loves Beth's company. Rick bit his lip, remembering what she said yesterday. Sage said she wonder if I even care about Carl anymore. She said that, yesterday, in front of our kid. When I was about to pick him up from school. Imagine that in your mind while you are sleeping in your bed. Shane was silent. He didn't really know what to say about that, what advice to give his friend. Before either of the two could speak, they heard the radio calling about a police chase of 2 suspects nearby. The two of them quickly put up their lunch, with Shane throwing it in the trash as Rick drives. The police chase ended with Rick getting a bullet in the chest. Chapter 8. A hellish training game. The conversation he overheard in Hephaestus' cabin kept being repeated over and over in his head. His thoughts were on that when dinner started and he joined his siblings at the table. Most of his female friends, the lieutenant of the hunt and the 3 virgin goddesses, likes him. Or at least that's what the rumors say. A part of him is still in denial that all of them like especially since one of them is a hunter and 3 of them are goddesses. Virgins at that. But the more Naruto thought about it, the more it made sense. The blushing the girls do, the glaring at one another, Thalia and Annabeth cuddling up to him in their sleep. He's still unsure about the goddesses because if they do have a crush on him, they're hiding it pretty well around him. But what should he do about it? He's gonna let them tell their feelings to him, that's for sure. He wanted them to gain the confidence in confessing to him. But did he like any of them? He didn't know any kind of love in his earliest childhood and Anko only introduced him to familial love. Most girls he met were either fangirls or hated him, with only a few girls becoming friends. Hinata's crush on him was painfully obvious, even to him, but he didn't hang out with Hinata enough to actually gain feelings for the shy girl. So he don't really know what romantic love really was. He cared for those girls greatly, of that he has no doubt, but he's not sure if he has any feelings for them. And he couldn't bear to hurt any of their feelings. Naruto. Naruto arose from his thoughts when he heard Metellus calling out to him in concern. Are you okay? You seem to be deep in thought. Naruto blinked a little before smiling at his sister. Nothing to worry about, just thinking on what to do next for the new game tomorrow. Naruto told her, a half-truth. He is thinking about the game he and Quintus were playing. He refused to let the guy use the scorpions, that was too much. Metellus smiled at him before returning to her meal. Naruto looked at his bowl of ramen and started eating it. He'll have time think about it later. Right now, he'll need to prepare the missions to come and the game tomorrow. Dream flashback. Naruto felt like hitting something. He had the unfortunate luck to be paired up with Sasuke and Sakura. Now, because of Sasuke's work-alone attitude and Sakura's fangirly loyalty to Sasuke, they all ended up failing. Luckily, Kakashi gave all of them another chance. After they rest and have their fill of lunch, they can try again and actually work as a team. Unfortunately for Sakura, Kakashi tied her up to one of the poles and not allow her to eat since she didn't even try to get the bell. Naruto could hear the girl's stomach growl in hunger as he and Sasuke ate their lunch. He could also see that she's absolutely miserable tied up on that pole, especially since she didn't eat either dinner or breakfast, which Naruto thought was stupid. He couldn't help but feel bad for the girl, despite their mutual dislike for one another. Besides, knowing what Kakashi was planning. Even if Kakashi wasn't planning this, Naruto wasn't cruel enough to let her starve while they eat. Plus, she would definitely be a dead weight if she wasn't at her peak efficiency. Here. Naruto said, holding his food towards Sakura. That surprised the pink-haired girl. What? But Naruto, didn't Kakashi-sensei said not to give your food to me? Sakura questioned, not saying baka for once in her life. You'll be breaking the rules. Yes, but I'm not cruel enough to let you starve Sakura, even if we don't get along. Naruto told her. Plus, I think Sasuke can agree with me when I say that you being hungry and tired will ruin your efficiency when we fight Kakashi again. Sasuke didn't say anything, merely nod his head. Sakura looked at Naruto with shining eyes. Like Naruto said, they didn't get along, and yet, he decided to give him his food. Guilt started to flow in her heart before she pushed it away. No matter how grateful she is to Naruto, he'd still be a baka for trying to show up her Sasuke-kun. Okay, but don't think this will change anything baka. Right back at you Banshee. Naruto retorted before feeding Sakura. That was how Team 7 was formed, by the act of kindness Naruto allowed. End dream flashback. Okay, we are going to playing a new game today. Naruto told all the campers, with Chiron, Dionysus, Kali, Quintus, and Mrs. O'Leary at his side. Rachel was also with the demigods as well, wanting to try out the game. It's morning and after breakfast, Chiron had everyone come to the edge of the forest to hear about Naruto's game. It's called Predator and Prey. It got some of campers nervous. What is that? A child of Hermes asked. Naruto grinned a little. Well, it's a type of training I used to do when I was younger. Naruto held back a shiver. Anko loved playing that game with him, almost too much. Me, Kali, and Mrs. O'Leary will be hunting you down while you are at the forest. If you don't get captured or crippled by us, you win the game. But lose, and I will double your training regime. Everyone's eyes widen in horror. You can't be serious. One of Apollo's kids shouted. The training you make us do is bad enough, why would you double it? This game will let me see how far you progress in your training. It will test your stealth, skill, speed, and stamina. Naruto told them all. If you lose, that means you haven't had enough training. Kids aged 12 and under aren't allowed to participate. Everyone else have no choice but to. Everyone will need to be in teams of 3, so choose who you think you can work with best. The game will start in 15 minutes, so prepare. Go. With that, the demigods went to prepare. After 15 minutes, everyone was prepared. Naruto noticed that Percy, Annabeth, and Rachel teamed up. Bianca, Thalia, and Medalist teamed up. Clarice, Katie, and Selena were on teams. Leo, Piper, and Charles were with each other. And Connor, Travis, and Luke are paired with one another. Okay, on your mark. Naruto announced, as all teams are lined up the forest. Get set. Naruto could see that all of them were tense. Kali's evil grin wasn't helping in the slightest. Go. Like roadrunners, all of them dashed to the forest while Naruto, Mrs. O'Leary, and Kali waited. What time do you think we should hunt them? Naruto asked the daughter of Dionysus. 5 minutes. Kali said, chuckling evilly. Those that aren't quickly finding a hiding spot will be taken down quickly. Just make sure you don't traumatize them, Kali. I promise nothing. 5 minutes later. One group of demigods were catching their breaths, one of them holding his knees and breathing a bit heavily, while the two others collapsed. It was a son of Apollo, a daughter of Demeter, and a son of Athena. Thank God for that stamina training. The son of Apollo, the one still up, said. He chuckled at the two that collapsed on the ground. You guys look like crap. Shut up. The son of Athena mumbled, looking up in the sky. We can't rest here for too long. Staying in one place will make us a big target. The Apollo child waved it off. Oh, relax, I doubt they would find us this quickly. We are too deep in the forest for them to get at this area in seconds. Are you really sure about that? A female voice echoed around them, causing all of them to tense, get up from the ground, and pull out their weapons, going back to back. You should have spent more time hiding or covering your tracks instead of running as far into the forest. The footprints, broken twigs, crumbled up leaves, led me right to you. How did you get here so quickly? Athena's son asked shakily, holding his sword and shield in front of him. It took us full sprint to get here in 5 minutes. There are such a things as climbing trees, you know. The voice said, getting very creepy. Now, I'm gonna take my sweet little time, defeating you. Savoring your loss. And then dragging you back to camp, but not before sending you to the monsters that's around here. Please, just leave us alone. The terrified daughter of Demeter pleaded. Give us another chance. Something jumped out from one of the trees, causing the 3 demigods to yelp and turn to where the girl jumped out of the trees. The girl revealed to be Kali, the torture expert of Camp Half-Blood. She grinned at them sadistically. I'm sorry, but on a real mission, there is no such thing as second chances. With that, she lunged. But Rachel, Annabeth, and Percy. The 3 of them heard several screams of both boys and girls, making them shiver. I hate to be in their shoes. Percy mumbled. He faced one giant hellhound at age 12 and didn't want to remember how much that scratch hurt. He met Kali a few times before going back home and saw her torture methods himself. And Naruto, he faced several times. He can only pray no one would have to suffer the 1,000 years of death technique. Sounds like those 3 are taking down many people. Percy said to the 2 girls on his team. Do you think we can last longer? If we're lucky enough not to end up with Naruto finding us. Annabeth said. We don't know if it's the real him or a clone with a limited amount of chakra, so it would be best not to let Naruto find us. Kali is strong, but I think the 3 of us can face her. The Hellhound, however, is a wild card since it looks like it has been trained and didn't die for a long time. Rachel shivered at the thought of facing that dog. I prefer if we stay clear of the dog. Percy smirked at her, causing the girl to glare at him. Shut up. She mumbled, knowing what he was thinking. Don't worry. You won't have to face Mrs. O'Leary. The 3 stiffened and slowly turned around to see Naruto holding Kasai, which was in spear form. But you'll have to face me now. Percy, Annabeth and Rachel all took out their weapons, preparing themselves for a fight. Percy charged at Naruto, with the older boy blocking the swing of the sword with the bottom of the spear. He used the other end to block a stab of a kunai from Annabeth, and when she saw ready to swing her baton, he used Leaf Whirlwind to knock everyone on their backs. He grinned at them. "You'll have to try harder than that. Water style. Water bullets." Naruto's eyes widened before turning around, only to see water bullets coming at him. He blocked or dodged each one, but was unprepared for shuriken to be thrown behind him. They successfully hit him in the back, making him hiss in pain and pause, only for the water bullets knock him down. Rachel ended it with her hitting him in the head with a baton, knocking him out. The three stared at the downed Naruto for a couple of seconds before he started turning into molten rocks and melted into the earth. "Lava clone," Annabeth said, looking around. "It won't transfer the memories of it users like shadow clones, but it will still be good to hide just in case." Percy and Rachel nodded in agreement. Annabeth kept looking around until she set her sights at two boulders. "Okay, let's hide over here," Annabeth said, pointing at the two boulders. Rachel and Percy nodded, the three of them pushing through the boulders to hide. They didn't know that they would end up falling in the labyrinth. With Naruto, 2 hours later. "Where the hell are those three?" Naruto said, with Callie and Mrs. O'Leary helping him search for Annabeth, Rachel, and Percy. Callie looked around with her hands behind her head. "Wherever they are pretty good at hiding." Mrs. O'Leary barked in the agreement. "But we checked through every crook and nanny of this place of this forest, there is no way we could not find them," Naruto said to his partner. He sighed. After 2 hours, the game was over and he called everyone back, with only a handful of demigods being declared the winner. Now, after a few minutes of searching, they hadn't found any trace of them. Naruto then remembered the Horatian seal he placed on Annabeth and slapped his forehead. He should have used that to find them. "Be right back you two." Before Callie could say anything, Naruto used the Horatian jutsu and teleported to Annabeth's location. He ended up being in some kind of tunnel and saw Annabeth, Percy and Rachel jump away from him in shouts of surprise. "Geez, can you stop doing that, Naruto? You were gone for 2 hours, Annabeth," Naruto told her, crossing his arms. "I needed to use it to find out where you guys were at." 2 hours? Annabeth, Rachel and Percy said in disbelief. Then Annabeth spoke up. "No, it can't be right. We've only been in here for 10 minutes. "Say what now?" Naruto said before looking around. His eyes widened when he found out where they are at. "Well, I'll be damned. You three found the labyrinth. Where's the entrance at?" "Up there," Percy said, pointing to where he, Rachel and Annabeth fallen down in. "How are we going to get up there? It's an 8-foot drop." Annabeth looked at him with wide eyes. "How did you know that, seaweed brain?" Naruto taught me." And when he said taught, he means throwing him into the ocean in various heights. He did that with several other campers as well, along with Bianca, after making sure Zeus's lightning bolt doesn't hit her. Truly, the blonde can be a sadistic bastard. "I'll use my fire teleportation to teleport all of us up there," Naruto said, looking at the top. "After that, I'll put a Horatian at the location of the entrance to make sure we don't forget where it's at." "Aw, but I want travel around a bit more," Annabeth whined, making Naruto and Percy shake their head in amusement while Rachel looked at her in disbelief. "Weren't you the one to say that we need to find a way out of here, wise girl?" "Shut up, seaweed brain. Finding this is incredible and I want to travel more. You just want to avoid telling Chiron about this until you can figure it out." Annabeth flushed brightly at the truth of the words, while Naruto snickered at the two. He wondered if Annabeth had feelings for Percy instead of him. "Okay everyone, grab on. I'm gonna fire teleport us up there," Naruto said, causing Annabeth to grab his left arm while Rachel grabbed his other arm. Annabeth flushed at the feeling of Naruto's muscles, but then frowned when she saw Percy grabbing Rachel's hand. That made Naruto arch an eyebrow. The crush on him is there, that's for sure, but it seems that it is only that. A crush. She may have stronger feelings for a certain son of Poseidon with him. Heh. Look like he's not the only one caught in a love triangle. What if Naruto x Piper McLean Percy Jackson end here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.